Yeah.
It should be 24, but I think it was the start of the year.
They got it there.
No, I know it was an increase, I
I think
don't know
there's
how
one
much,
copy of it.
but I know that we dropped the hours from 34.
He just wrote it.
I thought I done with 20, but
No, when Cindy comes here, she remembered and did the math with it. And it was still an increase, obviously. but it was a drop.
also then, whatever, we're over 40 hours. I mean, that's because of the law resolution.
I think we did when we signed it.
Huh?
What happened to the copy that signed it?
Didn't have one. Yes, I did. Did we go? You forgot.
You guys done with that? Okay, let's see.
Yeah. I understand. What's this here? Okay, these are the ones we got swearing, we're gonna agree to, right? This is the one I looked at. Yep, I have pictures, I'm okay with this one. So, but we had agreed to it, right?
You guys are deliberating with the quorum, you realize that? Which is illegal. You're deliberating with a quorum present.
What time is it? 7 o'clock.
The meeting's not called to order.
All right, at this time I'll call the meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next to you, we can have, okay, decide. So was that money the issue? Well, we can't say we really want it over the 24 hours. Or 38 hours, or 36 hours. Oh, that's good. How about this? That we looked at it,
I called him 100 times, you told me. Alright, as far as visitors go, we were supposed to have somebody come from Real Disposal, I don't see him here, so we'll move on. Roll call. Mansell.
Here.
Carrie.
Here.
Cindy.
Here.
Anthony.
Here.
Bob.
Present.
Eddie.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
And I'm here. Okay, so we're to public comment on agenda items only. Nobody has any public comment for agenda items only?
I do.
Okay, sure.
So a question for the Personnel Committee, which to my knowledge is Barry, Anthony, Terry, and Mansell. Can you tell me what information you gathered for, an informed proposed rate for increase for the people that are up for increase today? Did you gather any information on that?
I do not have anything on that.
We'll have to set a meeting.
No, there's, oh, just this year.
Okay,
A different meeting?
Previous minutes.
yeah, we're not gonna discuss that here.
I can tell you personally, I've been fielding a lot of your secretarial phone calls, they've been calling me, and I've had enough of it.
Why?
Good question. I've had everything from messages saying that they come to the office and you're not here.
I'm here every
Early in the
time.
morning, I've had those messages, and I have forwarded on to certain council members. Something needs to change. I've had a lot of water sewer bill questions that I've had to answer.
Why are you
You
answering
should
water
answer.
sewer questions?
I direct them to come back to the office, but I'm getting real tired of the calls.
Okay, any other comment, public comment on agenda items? Being said, I guess we'll move to the treasurer's report. You have what you have in your packets.
So who prepared the financial report? Is that Penny or Cheryl or?
The bank statements came from me.
So who did the actual report?
Penny.
So the monthly day house is set up, we have to deduct it. Cause I never, this is the first time seeing it like this, so. It's, so weird to read.
That's why you have to look at these to see if anything been said.
No profit and loss.
I haven't got that far. Let's see.
So there's no profit and loss report and there's no budget numbers, right? So it's really just a list of transactions.
And we're still paying Penny Road?
We still owe them something. Some bill we didn't pay or something.
Contract services.
So I'm gonna say with these, if we can add the profit and loss onto this, cause it really doesn't, this is pretty much reading that.
Yes.
It's not really telling me anything.
I make a motion, we add, profit and loss reports and, the budget information for 2024.
I think
All reports going forward.
she's working on it, she said, got together yet.
Second motion. Second.
Okay, so what was your motion again, Bob?
That we add the profit and loss report and all budget information to the treasurer's report, monthly treasurer's report.
You got that?
Motion was made by Bob to add the profit and loss to the treasurer's report, seconded by Mansell. Roll call vote, Mansell,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. Motion carries 7-0.
So I make a motion to table this report until we get the requested information. Cause there's no report really to approve.
You know how close she was to getting a report?
Want to try to call her?
Yeah, just table it, I just need.
But is there anything in here that is, we have to pay? Have
Well, you
to.
approve the payment of the bills. And
Yeah,
that's
the bills
it.
are, yeah, the bills are.
Just
wanna make sure.
Yeah, just so we can see the report, please.
So Bob's made a motion that we table the financial report
Yes.
until we get the proper information. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Anthony. Roll call vote, Mansell,
Yes.
Terry.
Yep.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well, motion carries 7-0.
Chris, is there a way to get a, I don't wanna call it a report, but Apex, a breakdown from Apex as to what they're doing? Like
Yeah.
what, Lisa does, kind of sort of, she breaks down whatever
Yeah.
charges for.
I'd like to have a conference call, you know, a lot of questions I don't know. I do anyways.
No, we can do that. I understand that. Just so you understand, Kenzie, lawyer.
Is he on here?
It's hard to do. Apex,
And that
Apex,
should be, the operator.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
All she does is give us like director one and then a dollar amount. Technician
breakdown.
4 and a dollar amount.
Yeah, we wanna know what.
5
they're doing.
hours and,
We have to pay attention because they quoted for them guys to do the O&M. And,
she has two or three bills in there.
yeah, must be a separate one.
Yeah, I think so,
Which one
and
do we
it's
have?
so many hours, but I think there's even 3 bills in there. But that's what I said, you don't know what it's for, one was for like half
Okay.
hour call, it looks like, what was it called? Half hour work,
Yeah, right now, the only I know she's working on is
But
the
they
blind
got-
schedule.
If they got like 40 hours on O&M manual, they should put, O&M,
Yeah.
they're gonna put.
Because we gotta make sure they don't go over their quoted job, which is $5 grand. Yeah, I'll make that note to Lisa. Initially keeping it separate, I don't know.
No, I'll pass this, go ahead, look at these.
yeah,
I would rather just pay her out what the quote was, that way it's done,
yeah,
and that way
I
it's
see,
out of
and
the
we
way.
don't know which one is the quote and which one is the, I mean, probably the bigger one is the work.
There's two of them. Once
But
we approve there.
Doesn't say what these, who these.
She doesn't even say what they're doing. Like 5.
So, yeah, we need to have a conversation with them because, I can't go over,
Yeah, but we don't know if
all that, all
That's
that.
only one, there's the other one. This is also one.
Are we still approving time cards, time sheets? Does the committee do that weekly?
I sign them.
You sign them? Is there a copy of them?
We have copies of them.
I don't have the most recent one, but I have the others.
You have
yes.
them, okay,
She has copies of
alright.
Still not do, let me take, maybe I'll take pictures.
Up to last
Letter.
week.
Okay,
Yeah,
Is that
the
okay?
check from
I
the
can
third, I
tell
do
you
not.
wanna send them a letter?
I'll send them to Lisa, saying, you know.
Well, Nicole, right, would be able to answer them.
Oh, hopefully.
Hey, go ahead.
Because they quoted to do these jobs, the compliance schedule, and I mean, all through two different quotes, 5 and 5.
Yeah, they punch time cards,
So it should be more than 10 grand
they
to
punch
go.
time cards and then they
And
fill
then
out a sheet
we have our normal correct pay.
directing where they put it.
I said they quoted $105,000.
Yeah, I thought that was really low. I just know
It's
that.
crazy low compared to the other guys, 30 grand.
Yeah, no.
So we gotta make sure they're not trying to make the money up someplace else.
Yeah, because.
Sure.
I'd like to.
So I'll have a call with Lisa tomorrow and get my head wrapped around it.
When you guys ready, let me know. We'll move on to paying the bills.
Quiet, I'm just double checking there.
Okay, now that we've had a chance to look at the bills, does anybody, I'll entertain a motion.
See what I'm saying? Not so worried about this one, and that one.
She was here, I didn't know. Bills.
No, that's yours. Okay, still, anybody wanna make a motion? You paid it? Motion made by Mansell Odell to pay the bills, do I have a second?
I'll second. You're gonna get talk with Apex?
Seconded by Cindy Burrows.
He's texting
Oh,
me.
you're gonna, okay.
I'm just looking at their email.
Okay, roll call vote, Mansell Odell,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yeah.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well, motion carries 7-0. Okay, now we're to department reports, Mayor, you got anything?
Yeah, we just gotta have Bill supply the dates, that document, and send you guys. Everybody sat down and looked at those dates?
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
So.
You gotta just write them right out, and I'll say, we'll vote on it and make sure everybody's good with it.
Well, the only thing I couldn't find was that last part where, who wrote it? Was Apex? No, it was
Apex is coming after, asking us these questions of when the borough
It was
wants
that,
to propose that we do this work.
it was the last part I didn't have any answers for, because I didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah, it's the last question.
The same person.
No,
No,
samples
it's-
are
it's
here.
got that.
You got these, gotta respond. So April 1st is May 1st. This is in May. That's when they start.
This decriminator.
They were supposed to be here, they were supposed to be here today, but I called them today as well. They said they were supposed to be here, so to answer some of these, but he gave me answers over the phone, so the schedule we have for that EPA wants, we already have a schedule for, they call it and, we call them and they come pick up. We're also on a schedule for them, so if we have more than we need, we can easily call up and they can come pick up.
Okay, and there's documentation, right? that we
Right, they have
to go
documentation, so
late and
we will
stuff.
have to, so they give us a ticket, we will have to actually submit that to the information that has, wherever it has to go.
Apex, so she's gotta have it there, she's gonna file it, we gotta communicate that with her,
So that's the part we have to do, we have to get her information and send it up to
right,
them.
for the sludge removal
I
process.
got the sludge report.
That's part of the process.
And I took it over to Michael. He said, we don't keep them over the sewer plant. I said, they gotta be at the sewer plant. So I said, make a folder and keep them, threw it in a drawer. So I give one to Penny. I made him sign this one that he received it. I give one to Penny and also put in the file because they're gonna be asking where these are at.
Well, then we have to keep it on file for 5
How did you get that?
Here come the bill, it's the bill. Come to the office, so I got a copy, and I took him over. And I had him sign my copy saying they received it,
I got it.
so when I
Just trying
asked
to figure
him,
out how you got it.
I got a copy from the secretary.
So the last one, she's stating that she's gonna respond to that last one, that's what that's.
Just today I did this.
So
So really,
that's been the process all along, so I don't know what's different.
Well, he said they're
they
not
don't
over
have any
there.
documentation is what they
He
said.
said this is not over, none of them, he said, Michael says.
Somebody's confused.
He said you guys, I'm just telling you what he told me. He said you guys kept them, they didn't have any of them. I said, they used to be at the sewer
Back
plant.
for like 10 years
I know,
or more.
well, not 10 years.
Well, that's what so EPA, what they're saying is that currently there's no records of how much sludge has been removed.
That's what
So if
Apex
you
is
wanna pass this
saying.
around, everything in red is what, they wrote, the blue is my response back.
Real Disposal should have copies of all this also. Cause they need it for state.
Yeah, so my plan
Can't
will
speak
be,
for them.
if we vote on this tonight, and we got to, it's due by May 13th, we have that time for our lawyer and Apex to go back and forth with it and agree, and send it off to EPA. So I'll draft the email tomorrow, but we gotta give them the answers.
Well, Jimmy Joe's got a chapter 94, was it? He said
I think it's 94, yeah.
he said a graph of last 3 years of
That
the
probably
sludge.
help. That probably help.
So we went from a lot
That should be
down to
fine.
little, down to hardly any.
Yeah, that's something we should submit, Apex.
I think he did.
Yeah, well, it's more.
So,
we'll check.
back to my question last month, my question was, Michael's directed by Apex, right? Right?
Yeah,
Yes?
yes.
So what has changed in the process?
Nothing that I've changed.
Okay, that's all I was trying to ask a month ago. Cause he receives his orders, process orders from Apex.
Right.
So if we're changing things,
What is he been ordering everything?
No,
that's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said he receives his process orders
From Apex,
from Apex,
okay.
and he does what they tell him to do, as far
So-
as process related. So my question is, you say we weren't handling any sludge, now we are handling sludge, what has changed?
other than they've been cleaning and drying, that's all.
High levels, what Bob's saying is,
Nope.
there's.
Nothing should
I
have changed.
don't think they're telling him what to do, to be honest with you.
Well, they better be, that's what we pay them for.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't think it works that way.
I-
I mean, it should.
That's why you have a certified operator.
Right,
Whoa, certified operator where? In,
with Apex.
with Apex downstate? He don't, certified operator don't come up here.
Doesn't need to. You just need to be in communication with them on an hourly basis or whatever.
And my understanding is when the operator comes up, it's supposed to be a certified operator. But I just let it go.
Was it
because
like once a week or something when we agreed to
Yeah.
that? I can't remember.
He has, the guy comes up, he don't do no testing, he don't do anything.
That's not good.
Well, he's been, I asked him,
Okay,
Cindy, you were there, he walked out, let me give you an example. He walked out into,
maybe it's my stop right here, but he receives his orders from the certified operator. And that certified operator should be telling him how much to waste or not to waste. Something that I control.
Yeah, let me circle back here, guys, we're on mine, right? So, what I need to know, okay, I basically gotta send this in.
Well, who makes that decision?
What, this?
You
No,
said
the,
wasting.
we are right now,
Here, well,
about the wasting.
He's got the
wasting
dates.
now, cause we have the dates on there and what we're planning to do.
So, we need to make sure we know when the chlorination system's going in and the date. And that's, should be a date that we have, pretty clean, right?
The second question is the only one I don't have, that's something.
What's the
never heard
second
about.
one?
Flow-based composite
Flow-based,
samplers?
Yeah, cause we didn't contract anyone to do any of that.
We had 2 samplers. A few years back, the boxes.
The flow meters are there.
No, I'm talking about the sample.
It's a different system.
We can put that date out there, I mean, it can be long up lead time, I mean, but I have to.
I don't know where they're at. We had 2 boxes, sample boxes.
So we do have one?
We do.
I don't know, they're between $3,000 and $4,000 or more.
So, whose comments are in red here?
Apex.
That's Apex.
Apex. Whose are in blue?
That's mine,
Alright.
talking to Real Disposal.
We've never had an issue, I shouldn't say never. Real disposal could typically drop off a roll-off in a day. That should never be an issue. It's saying here like, oh, you can't clean the drying bed off because you don't have a dumpster. I mean,
Nonsense.
that's just poor planning. I mean,
Real disposals changed hands.
I understand.
Yeah,
but-
just recently though. If you look back the last 3 years, we went through really doing a fine job of wasting. Then 2022, they cut almost in half, if not less, wasting. And in 2023, they wasted 1 or 2 the whole year.
And the key question is who's they? Because that's my point.
The
operator should be directing that.
Yeah,
The
they're
one-
saying down, if you read the other paragraphs, is currently there are no records of how much sludge is being removed from the wastewater treatment.
I don't know where the agreement is, Apex, it does the day-to-day.
We've gotten them from Real Disposal.
Well, they say Jimmy Joe just supplied us some information, chapter 94, right?
Right, he has
Okay.
a charts and graphs for
Okay,
the last
that's
3
gonna
years.
help answer that.
Yep.
And then the other aspect of it is, if Real Disposal can give us that information.
There's never been an issue about,
And then we need to
taking
file
it.
it, we need to file it, that's what she's saying here.
right, and they say they never had a problem. A year or 2
No records
years.
of dumpster pickups are being forwarded. She wants them forwarded, or we save them at the office, she comes and gets them. This is Apex.
Well, we need to get them all for the last 2 years, that's what they're looking for too.
That's fine. whatever we can
Jimmy
get
Joe
them.
has it for 2022 and now, 2022 to now.
Yeah, he called up, the real disposal,
Real
right?
disposal and got over it.
So he got the charge and gaps in his.
So what are we gonna do about the flow-based composite sampler that we need to install? What are we gonna do? Because I can't go back and say, I don't know, I gotta have an answer.
Well, he's saying it's up to APAC, not us, which I don't believe.
What don't you believe?
That list, you're saying that APAC's in charge, that they should be doing that, or making sure they're doing it, the guys over there. If we don't have a sample.
Nobody
That's a sample.
nobody can change any process parameters without their direction.
Correct.
So I don't know why you're making it sound like I'm making this up.
No, I'm just saying,
It's illegal.
we wouldn't get that then if they were gonna do it, correct?
I don't know. They need to be making, that's why we have a certified operator to make process control changes.
Well, I don't know what, I don't know what the contract says, so I don't know. Apparently, they don't, they're not rated the same way you are rated.
We have them.
But that's universal in the whole state.
I don't.
We do. Call APACs, I guess. Tell them it's their problem. I don't know what's. It ain't gonna fly.
Well, I'm sure there's a more tactful way to do it, but
Right.
the understanding is
I know
they're
what you're
making
saying.
the decisions.
Where's
And that
the-
was my discussion last month.
We got the original contract from APACs.
I've never seen it.
I never seen it.
Should be on file.
It's what?
Should be on file.
We can call and ask for a copy.
We
So
gotta hold
I
APACs
disagree with this
and
other
understand what
comment here about, the drying bed, it's full or whatever. That's all up to time, and that's all up to us. Okay?
Okay. So we're on the same page here. I agree with you.
You can dry a load of sludge 2 to 3 days in weather like this. In the winter, we've gone the whole winter stockpiling sludge, and then in April, whenever the weather breaks, it thaws out. You clean it up in April or March.
Yeah,
whatever,
but for the
right?
last,
You do not need to haul sludge. We
For
have
the-
demonstrated.
for the last 2 years, it hasn't been working though. I can show you under the charts and graph that the last 2 years, they haven't been doing it.
So we're just looking for a system.
What I'm telling you is, whoever's calling the shots is Apex, and they're telling you to run it like that.
They're saying not to use a drying bed. That's what's
That's a
happening.
different story.
That's what they're using.
That's a different story. The direction should be waste this many gallons of
I understand that.
sludge,
But at the end,
on
it goes
this
in the
day,
drying bed.
and that's what they should be telling us.
Not sure that's happening.
That's a pretty easy one, guys.
It ain't working. It hasn't worked for 2 years.
So, I don't know, I don't fully agree with this.
Yeah, take your information.
I mean, I get the comments, but
We gotta-
they're
we
not-
gotta reach out to.
They're not completely
reach out.
factual.
Yep.
I mean, we gotta get the information as soon as possible.
Yeah, that second one sample, I have no idea. What we have one.
But he-
Well, the first and second one.
I gotta see.
We
that.
need to talk to Apex Control. Where are you getting this information about
Yeah,
this?
I'm on it
Who
already.
told you that?
She guaranteed Dell.
But if I can show you,
Well, at least somebody's
for the last 2
contacted me,
years,
because obviously
they
you
weren't
guys aren't.
wasting.
She won't contact.
So you're saying it's Apex's fault, is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying whose fault it is, I'm saying it's their responsibility to manage the process. Otherwise, the borough comes in and says,
That's what they've been doing, nothing. The guy comes here, does nothing, says nothing.
is that good?
No, but it was going on before I got here.
Okay, so you agree there's an issue?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, okay.
That's why
I
we
wanna
want,
make sure that's.
that's why we want a conference call. There's a big issue.
Yeah, they're messaging right now. They don't wanna call, they're sending her messages.
Alright, so. Like, we have to work on this tomorrow and we have to figure this out, so I can get this information to. Sound like we got most of it, we just gotta figure out that last one.
I mean, like he said, they're wasting or they're not wasting, and who's calling the shots? As far as the drying bed and the pickup, it's pretty simple. You make a phone call when you think it's getting full, and they'll be there to pick it up. That's what it's always been, they've been pretty consistent. So I don't know what has changed, but it's been changed for 2 years.
Because Apex know, we got it, they gotta know, right?
Well, they're
telling
sending,
us to
they're
do it.
sending us the edict saying that we're not wasting, well,
They should be telling us that.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, this shouldn't be any surprise to them.
Part of their big management plan. Okay.
Are you done?
That's why we need
Are you guys
minutes on
gonna worry
this
about
thing.
on this?
Well, I'm just saying for 2 years it hasn't been done, so they've been not, Apex has not been doing a job for a while.
Just bring up.
Alright, one thing else on the minute, and we got a zoning permit here that I'd like to vote on. We're up on, Ryan Circle, I went up, took pictures, seems like he filled all the proper paperwork, went through the right ordinances. But, had that, the council look at that and vote on, fit it in there.
What's it for?
The fence up in Ryan Circle. I think I got pictures of the crew. All the pins are there.
And we sent them a copy of the ordinance too,
I
right?
think I copied it on this. I think he did it 2 or 3 times, and then that's a check there, he did,
It's the house that sits down around the corner.
That's right.
And this is going,
Between that.
this
one-
is Reed. Reed is on the other side.
Oh, is this the
These must be copies.
It's way down in.
No, ticket.
There's a steep driveway that goes down.
So I
Oh,
got
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
That's
and I
right.
took
So-
a copy over to Michael. And I
So
had
it's
him
on
sign my
file.
copy, saying that he
No,
received
it's-
it.
It's on.
And
the
I told him,
other-
make a file, he says, we don't keep them over there, he gotta keep them over there. So he threw it in the drawer, so I had to took out another file, put a copy in it, because we gotta have these. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, every time they get a load, these are the last 2 loads they took out. Every time they take a load. Yeah.
That's why I said.
What we do is substitute the last 2 loads.
I'm nervous.
Now it's half of what I talked about Apex.
You never seen this before? Somebody had to get
I didn't realize that. This, I put this on the mirror before. Yeah, I just need you guys to do it so it's like a little spot, we waiting. You guys wanna modify the agenda, it's up to you.
No, we're not. I think it's all good.
What are we doing?
We'll open that fence.
It's on the agenda, why do we wait till the?
Oh, it is on there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's under new
My bad.
business.
Move forward then, my fault.
We should ask her about
Chris,
that. Right?
skip to the deal. We gotta back up, and, you guys all have copies of the minutes of the
There's a couple.
April meeting and the special meeting.
Right here.
She didn't write it, but it's got.
Yeah, they,
So we're missing the minutes?
Missing there.
Yeah, it should have been, right after a roll call.
after roll call, it's supposed to be after roll call, that's where they're putting it. Yeah, they're putting it up. That's where they're putting it. Right, they're going back and putting it up.
Well, make a motion to approve the minutes for the April meeting, April, whatever it was.
I'll make a motion to accept the April 1st meeting minutes.
Mansell made a motion to accept the April
First is the minutes.
first meeting minutes. Do I have a second? Seconded by Eddie Wetzel. Roll call, Mansell.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
Eddie.
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. Motion carries 7-0. Now we got the special meeting, April 14th, I believe it was, 11th.
Make a motion to accept the 11th April 2024 special meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion was made to accept the minutes for April 11th, 2024, special meeting. Motion was made by Anthony Urbano, seconded by Mansell Odell. Roll call vote. Mansell,
Yes.
Terry, Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob.
No, I wasn't here, so I don't know.
No, okay. Eddie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Motion carries 6-1. Okay, police report.
For the month of April, we handled 51 calls, put 782 miles on the car, 13 traffic stops, 1 non-traffic arrest, 1 criminal arrest. For the Lawrenceville Borough, we handled 7 different types of calls within the borough. And we're able to do 27 hours for the past month.
Thank you. I don't see anybody here from the fire department, or is that you, PJ?
So we had 9 calls in the month of April. We had 2 structure fires, 2 MVAs, a vehicle fire, a traffic control, a fire alarm, and a wildfire and a standby. We had multiple members doing wildfire training, which took up the whole month of April. We had firefighters take a electric vehicle class. So all of our members currently now that are active running members of the department all have electric vehicle class. So I know how to operate on scenes of electric vehicles. All of our firefighters are now up to speed on wildfire training. So obviously it's wildfire season, so we're doing that. We're continuing training. Our next big training we have, I believe, is gonna be some more firefighter 1 training. We just purchased a new patrol truck out of Brindley Mountain down in Alabama. They're in the process now of getting ready to letter it for us. So you'll be seeing that here in the next couple months. We also just had one of our gun bingos for the year, and that went very well. We're gonna have another one coming up in probably September timeframe. But training is continued, and if you know anybody that wants to join, have them stop by and pick up an application.
Thank you. Library?
No report.
No report. Ambulance? Anybody from the ambulance? Water and sewer, Sheasley's started the dechlorination project, that got waylaid a bit because of some parts issues, and as soon as they get here, they're gonna continue. They're scheduled to do Cherry Street Lift Station and Weaver Street Lift Station. And the generator is ordered, lift station, or the transfer station is in, and they're just waiting on the generator. That's about all I have for water and sewer.
How far out is the matter?
Within the next week or so. I talked to him 4 weeks ago, and he said there was like a month lead time on that, so it's anytime soon we can call and verify.
The water
So you're
bill caught up.
It's gonna be done in a week or so, you're thinking?
Well, it should be started. I can't speak to when it's gonna be done, you'd have to talk to Schwartz on that.
Did he even start processing, like putting the pad in, so when the generator got here, they could set it, or is it gonna just come here and sit, and then they're gonna have to?
That's Schwartz's project, I don't know exactly where they're at with that. I mean, they were here the other day measuring for the transfer see what their schedule is. Okay, moving along, new business. There's no representative from, Real Disposal Greenland.
Next week. But they haven't put the pad in yet. We would figure they'd have the pad in before the generator would even show up.
Approval for library roof replacement, a quote. You pass these out.
Yep, everybody's on.
Okay, so you all have
Oh,
copies.
I don't think this is.
Did you just get one quote or
We got 6,
6?
but this was the one that the committee, was the one they went with.
And if it's approved, then I know due date start.
Yeah, that will depend on if it's approved.
So you have the other quotes?
Yes.
There's 6, they had 6 quotes.
Can you pass them around?
Oh, I don't have them with me now. This one wasn't the most expensive, it wasn't the cheapest.
So I'm a little confused as to why the committee would be, library committee would be managing a borough property. My understanding is the library is there to run the library, which does not include managing borough buildings, properties. It's almost like the renter going in and, taking care of property. I don't understand that. Can you explain that a little more? I
It's
mean,
a
that's-
library committee, that's what
that's-
usually
Needs a
all
new
committees
roof.
do.
What do you gotta
Well,
explain?
we're not,
I mean, that's what all committees do, they come back,
No,
bring it to the
that's
council.
not true. That's not
and-
true.
That's what it's supposed to be done, as far as
That's what it's
council.
supposed
The library is the operational library. The grounds and building manages the building, much like they manage this building.
So you want all the quotes and you can decide? That's what
I
we
know,
do.
I
That's what
would
we
like to
do.
have the quotes present for council, like, would for any other building, great.
Fine and dandy. We'll tell you, see.
So what, how old is the roof?
The roof is
No.
leaking.
He said it's leaking.
I just asked how old.
He said it was leaking, is all
I
I
have
know.
no idea.
Yeah, it's leaking.
How, we don't know how old.
No, it is old. It's the old type shingles.
Oh,
So like, you got any idea? How old it is?
It's gotta be over.
How many layers of roofing is on?
One,
One.
just
That's
one.
like one.
That's
Well,
the
did it-
original shingles on the roof.
It looks good.
Well,
I
they
can't.
They're not the
That's
original,
probably
but
20s.
whoever
That
did
was-
it, they did a good job, they took them all off.
I was gonna say, or they took off the original and put.
Usually
these
what they
on,
do.
Cause normally they just layer on top.
Where's the
That's
roof
not a good
leaking?
contract.
In the kitchen.
Hmm?
That's not a good contract.
And I think
Well,
there's a spot
upstairs,
upstairs too.
upstairs.
There's a wall, like it goes this.
Well, you can see it says any rotten wood found, extra charges will apply. Most likely gonna find rotten wood, especially if it's leaking, right?
Was all the quotes
So,
metal
this
roofs?
is only
Yes.
the prices.
All of them are metal.
I had that built in. You know what I mean? It's been leaking in the spot, most likely you got damaged.
It's not a big leak, it's just a little one.
Well, it don't take much.
It doesn't take much for it to be
He
a
puts on his
disaster.
quote that if any rotten wood be found, extra charges will apply. Well, I can almost guarantee it.
You're sure you have some more.
You're gonna have some,
So,
When you came down to the 3, do you know who the other two was? Other two?
I think what Bob's asking is we see all the quotes.
Yep.
Did a committee review this prior?
Which,
In
my,
public
Library.
In a public meeting, did they
My point
review all
is-
quotes?
no, it would have been a public
We
meeting
would
over
have-
there.
It was a public
My
meeting.
point is, we would have a building committee, whether it's here, there, ballpark, shed up there, whatever, right?
Your building committee is here currently, correct?
Right, but they haven't seen the
in
quote
front
of
of
what I'm
Have
hearing.
you seen it?
No,
This is the other quote I sent.
That's my point.
Just the one is.
No. It's not on the list.
What would that fall under, Parks Rec, what?
No, it's not Parks and Recs, that would be library building.
It's, the library is owned by the borough, just like any other building, the sewer building, water building, they're all the same. They fall under the same umbrella, just like the garage out here, it's all managed by the borough.
The borough council is responsible for that building.
I understand that.
So the borough council, the members, all of you, should be able to see those quotes and decide as a borough council.
It's under
You
the
guys
same
are the ones
umbrella.
we voted for.
Well, how many council members seen that, other quotes?
Anthony's saying no.
Two?
I came in there, I didn't actually review those, so this is maybe I get all in on the table.
Alright, let's table this until they can show us the other.
When they supposed to do the job?
It doesn't matter. I mean, this was just to get approval. so
They'll start once it's approved.
Can,
They
can
won't
I add a
wait.
public comment to your current deliberation? If the roof is in fact leaking, that is damage to property and grounds to take immediate action, so if you guys could measure how bad this is and how long you really should wait. If it's leaking, you shouldn't probably wait a month. So at least consider that that is loss of property if it continues to leak and causes damage. Just a comment, food for thought.
I guess on the flip side, the coin is, if there's damage from the leaking, it's already damaged. Another weak rainstorm or a month isn't gonna change it. But I have, well, you didn't look at it though, I was gonna say, if you guys looked at it, I'd have faith in that, but you guys didn't look at it, so, yeah, good table.
Did those who sent quotes look at it? Or did they just look at the roof from
They
outside?
just looked at the roof from the outside.
So, table this. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the water sewer split for maintenance fees. The sewer side's taking the majority of the hits here because everything DEP is concerned about is the sewer side, with the exception of the generator for down at the water plant. So it was recommended that, what was the split, Mansell?
Go to 50-50,
So instead of,
have more going to the water.
40-60 split, we go to a 50-50 split.
I think the motion is 50-50 split.
Mansell made a motion to do the 50-50 split, if there's no discussion on it, somebody second?
I'll second it.
Also revenue and expenses, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Seconded by Terry Gleason, roll call vote, Mansell.
So hang on, discussion
Oh.
here. So, I think the comment was just made, someone made the recommendation. Can we identify who makes recommendations? Who made the recommendation?
Well, based on,
I'm just looking for a name.
oh, well, I think there's 2 or 3 of us involved, council people, plus the secretary.
Can we name them?
Myself,
Name.
Terry, Eddie, did you look at?
I was here. I didn't-
Okay, so
So,
certain members of the council made the recommendation,
yes,
correct?
yes.
All right, thank you.
Are we good now?
I just don't like to use unknown people's names.
Okay,
Roll call vote, Mansell,
yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
No.
Eddie,
Yes.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 6-1. Okay. The adding dwellings to WSD billing ordinance, the ordinance is in your packets. I don't know what we're adding there if we have an ordinance, but somebody can elaborate on that.
So, there's 2 pages here for the public. The ordinance is like 50 pages long or something.
What's the ordinance number?
14-1026.
It should be, ordinance should be like ordinance 136, 134. Those are the water and sewer ordinances, 131 to 136.
So I guess what's the proposal here? It says adding dwelling to
Where it used to be,
billing ordinance.
everybody pays, they're hooked up, they pay. If they live in a dwelling, they pay. And when they don't pay, they have to shut the water off.
So that's not what the ordinance says.
Yes, it is. Exactly. We went through
Where
two-
is it?
We went through 2 attorneys already. And
Where are they?
Now, matter of fact, I'll go a little further than that. Cause at one time, we were gonna get a solicitor. At the time, Mr. Chilson was the president of the council. Borough currently has language in the ordinance that the borough can change the minimum fee per dwelling unit. There is no need to solicit a draft or a resolution. Council has responsibility of the ordinance. 131 to 136, and it spells out how exactly it works.
Yeah,
From
we didn't
start to
print that
finish.
out.
Huh?
That's not here. This is section 14, you're looking for 136.
You got the whole thing, do you?
Yeah, 134. If I have what's.
Oh, where's that? Oh, hold on a minute, I got the other one for that. Where's the one you got there, do you have a copy of? Yeah, that's probably where you look for the whole book. I'll hand that to him, he's read it many a times.
The water ordinances are more than 2 pages.
The same one he has.
What's that?
They're more than 2 pages. I
Yeah,
don't know
there's
what
like,
part you got.
there's
there.
like 3 to starts out at. The first one really doesn't say anything.
It's the same one he has.
Okay.
It's the
You
same
got
one.
that one?
Yeah, but that's 14-1036, not,
It's just part of one ordinance.
not ordinance 136.
Did you get the copy of the one on the book?
2 different things.
Section.
Hmm?
Did you get the copy on the book?
No, I didn't.
I voted keep it as it is.
No, we didn't. We said just go.
You voted to dwell. Everybody voted yes, except Kathy, because she had a place, and Gordy. You know, we got a copy of that too, if you want to look at that.
You voted to change the ordinance?
No, we voted to, you changed the ordinance. We kept it.
No ordinance of those water and sewers have been changed in 20, 30 years.
Gordy, I'm not gonna argue with him.
I mean,
No, where's that paperwork here?
I don't know what part of what ordinance he's talking about, but if he's talking ones where multiple dwellings with 1 meter, I don't know what he's talking about.
It says 1 meter or several meters. You pay the minimum.
Well, you gotta read,
Well, let me find it.
you gotta go to 136 on the last page. If the landowner pays the bill,
It doesn't say
Yeah.
anything about that. It
No, it
doesn't say that anywhere.
well, show me the ordinance. I'll-
There is a condition about that.
I'll show you to you.
They have the option to pay the bill, but not to pay the minimum per dwelling. That's not how it reads. They have the option to pay the
Okay,
bill.
Barry, get the ordinance, you know, the discussion will be over with. She probably knows what ordinance is.
Comply with the
Just
ordinance
go get it.
136, motion was made by Councilman
I think you
Fetzel,
have
seconded
the
by
ordinance
Riddell,
before you.
to adjust
I
the
have
bill to
copies
comply
of
with
it,
the ordinance
absolutely.
136. And that was dated August 2nd, 21. From that day forward, we did per dwelling. So we got a building with 2 apartments in it, they live separately, that's 2 dwellings. If they got heat in there, there's a cook stove, that's separate dwellings. They had their own tub, that's a second dwelling.
All right, well, let's read off 136.
I just read that off.
Where?
Where, yeah.
Justify to 136.
You got ordinance 14-1036.
They're all, the whole 36 is 1 unit.
It's not there, Mansell.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
27, 28, 29, 30, 34, 35. That must be 36.
It must be.
This is the whole page about dwellings. I think you got it, don't you?
The number is 14-1036, which
Correct.
is not 136. You're
Go find that.
comparing apples
Go find
and
it.
zebras.
Where you found it? We already showed it to you. Did you get a copy of it?
No, I showed it to Barry.
It's in the minute book also. Ordinance 136. It's in the minute book.
Let's move on to the next thing and come back to it.
Alright, so this is the fence permit that went around, for Southwick. Basically, we're looking to approve that
So I just have a comment. Does everybody understand what the process is for this?
for.
Can I make your own decision? Right.
Does everybody understand what the process is?
I
So if we
rely on-
approve this, that's basically just saying that you don't need a zone, the zoning permit has been approved, which means you can then go get a building permit,
Correct.
correct?
Right.
Everybody understand that?
I understand.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve the zoning permit application for Southwick family.
That's what you just said.
He made a motion to approve the zoning permit for the fence on Southwick. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Anthony. Roll call vote, Mansell,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. 7-0.
Bob,
Yes.
is there a plot plan there with that?
There is, yes. Shows the property line and the setback.
That ERB one?
The distance isn't on the map, but it says in the write-up how far away it is, so yes. Thank you.
Cause ERB wanted to, has to be voted, just like how this vote came through, it didn't want it written down like that as well.
It would have to be a document that we have here at the office that we have on our website, just add a line.
What's that? Oh,
Cause it has,
so-
cause ERB wants to make sure it's voted on before it comes to them, so.
Right.
So that's what we did right just now.
What is the
Yes.
website
But
gonna
it
be
doesn't say
located?
it.
Right, that's what we discussed, and we're gonna
Yeah.
move forward doing that, so.
Yeah, but he's asking for.
Right, it's,
So-
they wanted to
so-
find it private.
So-
I'll see in the minutes.
The minute, the roll call vote is authorized someone, the president or vice president to sign that. I mean,
Right.
right.
And they, when I get it.
So
back,
the
I'll sign it.
confusion, the reason I ask is in the past, we have signed them and then hand them to the resident, and then they think they could go without a permit. I'm not saying in this case.
No, I understand.
I just wanna make sure we understand.
That's what we corrected.
Alright, I just wanna make sure, that's happened numerous times.
Yeah, all the
Not-
ones I did, I didn't realize it.
This,
We discussed this, dwelling in our Thursday meeting, too, right? A little bit.
a little bit.
And we was looking for questions too about that, and we thought we had them all answered. And I wanna make a motion to move forward on the dwelling. I don't need to sit and think about it or discuss it, because I discussed with two attorneys already, but
Yeah.
that's my opinion, that's what I would like to do. And the ordinance is pretty clear how it works,
It is not clear.
it is very clear.
We did it before.
We did it for almost 2 years,
Yeah.
how we was done.
So that makes it right. The ordinance was written in
You
nineteen
voted on it.
seventy-seven. I did not, I voted to follow the original ordinance.
After Mr. Chilson made his statement.
I followed the ordinance,
And
and
he
you don't
had
like the
orig-
ordinance,
He
change
had
it.
original ordinance before him.
Man,
We
so I'm
don't-
not gonna let you twist it, okay?
That's
I
what it
voted to
says.
follow the ordinance.
That's
Go
what
get
we're
the
You
doing.
ordinance.
voted to abolish the ordinances.
I make a motion,
There's no justification for adjusting
You,
that. None.
Mansell, change the ordinance if you wanna do it differently.
we've been through that already.
Gordy, you're not on council anymore, so how about you
No,
wait
but
till the
I'm
public?
trying to
I
shorten
second the motion.
meeting.
You're out of order.
So what's?
You're interrupting what's going
That's the
on,
motion.
so you're in
I
the
make a
peanut
motion.
gallery this time, Mr.
Accept,
Chilson. Be respectful.
136 for the dwellings and how it's to be paid,
As it's written,
as as it's written.
So what are you gonna change it to?
Because somebody stopped doing it, and now we're gonna go back the way it was.
I'm getting blamed for this?
I said somebody. Did I say
The
that?
original,
I said
the
somebody.
original ordinance was 1977.
I
It
know.
has not changed,
Yes, it has.
except for this shenanigans here.
But it's been changed. We had a process that we're doing this for over a year. Correct, Bob?
Somebody chose to do it that way.
We
It
voted
was in
on it.
violation of
We
the.
voted on
No, it was only in violation for certain people.
So with this
But
one,
nobody can produce the ordinance.
we should
Look,
So you wanna
look
vote
at
on
it.
this.
I produced all the information
So the
you want.
council wants to vote blind.
Let me speak for a minute, I'll straighten
I
Nancy.
think it should be, we should actually, the ordinance, this is not a complete ordinance. This is not a complete ordinance. The ordinance is not.
Agreed. It's a section, it's 2 pages of
And how have
40,
we
50
been
page
charging
document.
people?
We discussed this last Thursday, and we discussed it prior to that. Now, if you wanna get in the ordinance book, and you wanna get in the minute book, have at it.
Mansell made a motion.
We have a request from the floor.
Yes, I made a motion to accept it. 136, how the lines work.
As written,
As written.
And I
as the
second.
ordinance written.
Okay.
So you don't need a motion, it's over with, it's already there,
I know, that's what I said, but
it's already
we're
there.
gonna vote it just to make sure.
Just to make sure. Go ahead, Mansell, with your motion.
I've already recognized his motion, and Cindy seconded.
Can you read back the motion?
I make a motion that a dwelling unit is paid the minimum charge of 57.50 according to the borough ordinance. How it's divided as dwelling, when it talks about dwelling, that means if I have an apartment and there's 2 family lives there, one has a stove, the second one has a stove, it's 2 dwellings. This is the whole conversation, we had 2 attorneys, and they ruled that it's in there.
They don't rule, judges rule, okay?
Well, their recommendation that ours is the same as everywhere else in Tioga, that's done the same way. Now,
So, are you making a motion to go back to the original, or?
I'm going back the way it was. That's original, the way it should have been.
So show us a copy of it.
You already have it.
For clarification, we are talking about making every dwelling, so if I have 4 apartments in one building,
Everybody
there's
pays
4
one.
minimum, hold
How
on,
do you know
stop
what his
interrupting
motion is?
people.
I just don't understand how you know what
Why
his
are
motion
you
is.
interrupting
I
everyone
wanna hear from
constantly?
You're
ignorant.
You are
Let her
constantly
speak.
interrupting
Actually, the
tonight,
floor is
Bob.
closed. The
For
floor is closed.
clarification, if I have a home
Barry,
and
can
it
I hear
has,
from him what the
wow,
motion is?
Bob,
Well, she wants to make sure she understands.
I need to make sure that all the
And
people that
I wanna
voted for
make
you
sure
guys
I know what I'm
understand what
voting.
you're
She
trying to
can
change.
come back at public.
That's right. That's
But I
not
have the
true.
right to speak while you're deliberating and ask for
Yes, she
clarification.
does.
No,
I
you don't.
have the right to speak while you're deliberating.
That's
Do you
not
need me to
true.
reference that again, Bob? Stop interrupting me. If I have a house,
Little man syndrome, that's what that is.
it's
Yes.
completely disrespectful.
Yes, that's correct.
You're
You
being
have
completely
4 apartments,
disrespectful.
you should be
There are
charged a
4 minimum
57.50.
bills.
The problem is,
Per dwelling.
there's another statement that clarifies it, okay? There's a whole paragraph on it, but nobody can
I know
produce
you're
it.
talking about.
Well, where is it?
It doesn't say that.
Okay, but
That's
you
the same
can't
thing we
produce.
showed to the attorney. All they're talking about, Bob, is I have an apartment, and there's a family in there. You need to
Man,
know
so I
that.
don't wanna hear your explanation, I just like to see.
I'm just
Bob,
telling
you can't
what
let
the
him
attorney
I'd like to
says.
see
either.
I'd like to see
I
the,
heard quotes you the ordinance.
Based on the ordinance in the ordinance.
that's
book.
why we keep going through this, because no
And
one
if
can
you
ever
look at-
produce the ordinance.
It is the ordinance. It talks separate
That's
meters
why laws
required
are
for
written
certain
down.
premises. Let's see.
Where's the ordinance book?
Here
Is
we
there
go.
one
Guys,
in
it's
this
going back and
office?
forth over this, is crazy until you can
1031
produce
dwelling,
the ordinance.
Just-
1032
go get the
dwelling,
ordinance.
on one family.
What?
Where's the ordinance
Just go
book?
get it, it's over there, it's in the fire cabinet.
1033
Ordinance 136, just go
dwelling.
get it, I can point it right out to you.
Guys, you can't vote on something you don't know, that's why you
I
get
don't
into
know why
these
we're
messes.
voting on it. It was,
Thank
it was
you.
before.
Right,
It's
just
all
keep it the way it
same-
was.
Keep it the way it was.
Then why are we even having the vote?
That's what we
Well,
did.
I
Thank
need
you,
to.
thank you,
You're-
somebody
That's what I
rescind
said
the
earlier.
motion.
I would
Because
send
you
motion to go
stopped
back the way we
doing
used to
it.
do it.
Thank you.
Right, because you
Every
stopped
dwelling
doing it,
gets
that's why you
built.
need to vote
Right.
it in.
Period.
Just
Period.
follow the ordinance. book.
Right, that's what we're gonna
Okay.
do.
So you retracted your motion.
We're gonna follow the ordinance as we did before.
And
No, you're gonna follow the ordinance.
As we did before.
No, as written.
Because you didn't do it, or as written, because you
Just
guys
follow the
didn't do
ordinance
it.
book.
I
That's
did,
all you
and I
gotta
am.
Okay, let's.
So that's why
We're
we're
gonna
gonna follow
follow-
this. 'cause you
We're
guys
gonna
didn't.
follow the ordinance book, and what it says, and we'll go with that. The next thing on the agenda is discussion about the mile-long, rummage sale. I got a note here, it says usually the first weekend after the 4th, July 4th. So you wanna set a date for that?
Whatever that's Friday and Saturday.
Do you know what the date exactly?
5th and 6th.
5th and 6th.
So, somebody needs to make a motion.
30 years ago, was it?
Alright.
Because that's when it is every year.
And you go from here, you go from the brook. That's-
Okay, water well pump installation, Art Reinheimer? Did he call?
He's probably trying to set a date for the project.
That's the water project for well 2.
Well, one and two.
Well, yeah, but basically to get well 2 so we can test it to see what it is. Cause right now well 2's not operable, but I understand.
Kind of. We're gonna replace well 1 with a new pump,
Right,
and well 2 we're gonna replace with the pump and then have a spare pump.
so
That's what Jimmy Joe said.
that's what Jimmy Joe shared with us.
So we bought the pumps back in November, something, they had a long lead time, so my guess is he's probably on a schedule a job.
Yeah, it was paid for in January.
I think it was paid for in January, yeah, the pumps.
How much we got left? Go on it, how much we owe on it?
It's like $4,000 or $5,000 projects, so.
How much you give already?
Around
Like
13,
half or something.
13,000 for the pumps.
I mean, that's not up
Yeah,
to
so
us,
pumps are bought.
they dictate the payment policy, right, so
Right.
we're just following their invoicing schedule.
I guess I'm just lost on getting well 2 up and running. We all sit here knowing the well 2 is not capable of being used. And to do that, we're gonna have to get like a pool, introduce both waters together and try to figure out a solution to be able to use them, if you could use them. That's my understanding.
No, that's not what Jimmy Joe said. He said, well 1, well 2 had to be operational because, you have, once one goes down, you have no other source of water.
But you can't use that water in the
Can't use
town.
that.
We don't wanna use their water.
We don't wanna use it, but once it goes down, there's no other source of water.
The river's probably cleaner than well 2.
So, is Jimmy still engaged?
Yes.
So, just
I
continuing
just have
on,
a
and if we
question.
don't know any more detail, we can't act on it.
My question
Jimmy
is,
Joe's working on the permitting, for
Right.
some kind of paint that's for the wells.
so we agree, well 2, if it gets up and running, we cannot use it for drinking, correct?
Well 2 has to be re-permitted.
They
Right.
won't,
And that's what he's working on, the re-permit.
DEP won't
No,
permit it.
that's a whole bigger zoo.
So, all that means in reality is you can't pump a single drop from it to the borough, that's all that means.
Not even to the
That
river,
means-
without DEP.
That means you can still replace the pump, you cannot start it up,
Right,
that's a thing.
I agree.
So, I don't know what
I don't know
I don't,
why it's a big issue right now, when we got everything else above us.
I don't think anybody made it an issue. The point I'm trying to make is the parts are here and he's probably looking to schedule a date to do the job.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Sooner the better.
And it's hard to get excited about throwing a brand new pump in well 2 if it's only gonna rot and you never use it.
I agree.
So that's why we bought 2 new pumps, a new one replaced well 1, the spare would go right on the shelf as an emergency spare, and then we'd pull well 1 out and put it in well 2.
So, just as long as we're in agreement, don't expect well 2 to be drinking out of it.
Right.
How much more money is this gonna cost? What's the
More than
balance
what?
still?
They just
I
had to
don't
change the
have-
chemical.
That was all in the original quote.
Chemical feed in that.
No, that was all in the original job.
Yeah, it's there, but I don't have it in front
But we still are gonna put out more money towards it.
of
I
me.
think you paid for half.
Yeah, cause we authorized the job.
I
back
think
in
we
the-
paid for more than that.
I was on 37,000.
It was about half. But that's how it goes. Those were their terms of buying the pump.
How long we had the pumps?
I
don't think we have them.
We don't have the pumps, they still have.
So they're just looking for a date to install?
Yes, I think
Yes.
we're all excited over nothing here, is what I'm getting at, and we just need to follow the plan.
Well, I just wanna make sure that there's not a magic wand, you're gonna make 2 drinkable, ever.
We gave up on that plan a long
Jimmy Joe
time
didn't
ago.
say
Okay.
that at all.
Huh?
Jimmy Joe didn't say that at all. All he wanted to do was have that well one go into well two, and have 2 operational pumps.
He
One on
wanted,
the shelf.
yeah.
And
You
then
can't
one
go to 2.
No, the one that's.
He's just
well
gonna
one.
put the used one in too and just let it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I understand that part, but you can't mix them together either.
No.
Okay, so well 1, well 2, so we're not pumping water from well 2.
Okay.
We're pumping it from well 1.
Cause we have no
This
permit.
is the backup, right,
We have
but it
no
is
permit.
not permitted.
So why don't we just focus on well 1, the main issue, get a new pump in there. Then 2, we don't care when it gets in there, cause it's gonna be years before you use them.
Here's why, because you pay for them for a mobilization.
Right.
So
They wanna do
if you have to do all one trip,
If
it's
they're gonna do
a
it
fraction
all
of the cost if you call them back in 6 months or a
If they're gonna
year.
do it all at once, I don't know that.
The job was originally 2 to 3 days, is what they told us. So I think we're all under control here, it's
Yeah.
just, it has to be planned out because the well will be down
While they're
while they're
changing,
pulling.
while they're pulling the pump from well 1.
So it's no
They're doing-
kidding, fill the tank to the top,
Yeah,
shut it down, pull it out, put it in.
yeah. That's the way I understood it.
Yes.
That should be in and out in a day, that one.
And this is the original company that put our original well in back in the
Right.
seventies.
Jimmy Joe
It's the
was there, that would be-
same crew, not, the same company.
And not
Same.
the crew, they're all dead.
Well, no, some of them were there.
Ours the
originally.
same man.
Yes.
Some of them are still there.
Art has been with the company 40 some years.
That's the way I understood it from Jimmy Joe.
It should. We'll have to follow the whole process with construction permits and things.
So they should go ahead with that.
So I don't think we could do anything until we figure out what they needed from us. So,
I think just wait till they call you.
I mean, there's no action to take because we don't know what they want
Right,
from us.
right.
So,
So again, I'm gonna make a motion, we're gonna leave it just like that, I dropped my motion, we're gonna keep it as it was. Everybody's gonna get paid for as well.
just follow.
Per the order.
Follow the order.
Read and follow the orders.
Exactly,
1977.
I agree.
Okay. In Cheryl's public comments, we pretty much covered this next one. Borough employee pay rate increases 90 days complete for Robert and Cheryl. We'll set up meetings in the next couple days, have them in and chat with them. I know you're busy, but
We need to have a
three out of the four.
session for this.
Um,
Oh, we can, I mean, it doesn't matter. what we-
we're not prepared to do anything with it anyway.
What's
Okay,
the
all right.
employee handbook say that they signed?
What's that?
What's the employee handbook say that they signed?
Anthony?
But it's not in there, right? This doesn't cover this in there. It's not in there.
What
It
is
doesn't
it?
require anything about dates except for the 1 year and.
Oh, we can
farm.
talk amongst ourselves.
Okay.
All right, so just some feedback on this. I asked Apex a dozen times over the year or so about sign-offs on our employees, that they are trained to SOPs. So for instance, like when we were hiring our weekend workers, they were trained by Apex, they were trained by Michael. I asked Apex probably a half dozen times, can you send us a statement stating that our workers are trained to the SOPs? And for whatever reason, that never went anywhere. So when I see, talking about pay increases and the 90 days and all that stuff, I think it's in the best interest of the borough that we get a statement from our operators basically saying that these workers have met that criteria. Otherwise, I don't know what they've been trained to.
Right.
to what criteria. And there's just been, for whatever reason, reluctance. I've asked numerous times, it was in the committee meetings. So I don't know if I need to make a motion to do that. What do you guys think committee-wise to make that happen with Apex? Any?
How about you've done it for what, try to get hold for 6 months or more, to try to get something from
I
them?
think he's talking previous.
Yes.
Alright. And you didn't get no response?
I get a response and it sounds like it's gonna happen, but it never happens.
So what you're suggesting to me is put a little pressure on Apex to make that happen?
And I guess the greatest pressure we could do is make a motion to require that. We always seem to get hung up on the verbiage, and I said, all I need is a simple sentence or two that says they've been trained to something. Either it's an SOP or the weekend, I think what we were primarily after was the weekend task list, the daily, like checklist. I didn't think that was that big of an ask, but it seemed like a.
And you run
Get that from
into,
Apex.
you run into a stone wall with Apex on
Yeah,
it?
it's all
Yeah.
about chip, but you get-
So I guess I'll just make a motion, so that way I don't have to readdress it. Is that,
Okay.
that
All
fair? I make a motion that we get, a 1 or 2 sentence certification from Apex saying that our employees are trained to the SOP for the daily checks.
How,
And include weekly, monthly, weekend.
how can you be trained, we ain't got the manual written yet,
The SOPs have been, they're in the process of getting updated.
but they're not done.
I think you gotta fall back.
Are you talking about the completed SOPs for the water? Cause the.
I'm talking about whatever they're working to right now.
Cause we haven't seen, the
Standard
SOP hasn't
operating
come back
procedure.
yet.
There's documents over there.
Well, I don't know about that.
There is,
For standard operating procedures,
yes.
there is.
Is it?
There is.
Okay, what was your motion?
See, I like this guy.
That we make a motion to have Apex, send a 1 or 2 sentence certification stating that our employees have been trained to the water and sewer plant SOPs.
The existing water and sewer.
Yes. I don't know how else to certify that, guys, that they've been trained. I
Right.
don't think any of us are qualified here to say that they're trained.
Would it make sense to
Yeah,
add
how
in
many
there
are
that they
trained?
update the employees on the new SOP when that gets approved?
That's future, so I think what I'm asking is, let's get them to the current standard for training, and then that'll be addressed at a future time.
But reactively, not proactively, likely, cause this is gonna happen, Chris said, like the 14th or something, right?
I think that makes sense.
I just think it makes sense to cover both fields, old SOP to new SOP.
36.
Also, 2 more months.
Okay, with that being said, move along.
I would second the
Bob's
motion.
got-
Oh, yeah, Bob's got a motion. Somebody want to second Bob's motion?
I second the motion.
Anthony seconded it, roll call vote, Mansell.
You're gonna, who's calling first?
I'll call him.
Okay. Yes. Well, we have Bob call.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Are you voting yes or
Well,
no?
I'm just saying, he's familiar with the whole thing.
I don't think it matters who calls right now. Are we voting to do that or not? The motion.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
vote.
yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 7-0.
Is there a question on who's gonna do this still, or, cause if somebody doesn't volunteer, it's not gonna get done.
Anthony
No,
said
I
he
got it.
Anthony
Yeah,
said
he
he
said
would
he
go.
would do it.
I can answer for long.
Yeah.
He said he would.
They should have an email for this.
Okay, abatement letter dwelling disconnect.
So this one I put on there, this is just for public information, to, post probably on the wall or something, information about abatements, dwelling and disconnects. So the public would know, how it has to work, how abatements work, dwellings work, disconnects work.
So it's just information.
just informational.
Cause most public don't know about these things, so.
So my concern is the council or some folks make this sound like it's an illegal deal, and it's actually in the ordinance, right? It's a process that any resident can use, so I think your point is, let's notify the public, right? Is
Yeah,
that,
that's all it is.
that's what you're.
Right, you wanna know what's available.
Yeah.
It's not a motion, it's just,
You're just gonna make it, make public information.
yeah, it's public information.
Okay, the contract for
When are
the
you gonna
res-
start doing disconnects?
What?
When are you gonna start doing disconnects? I thought you guys were gonna discuss that.
Well, first you gotta send a letter out, which I think that's in the process. And then
It says letters were mailed,
they were mailed,
yes.
so hopefully they'll come in and try to stop something. And if they don't, then we just put a letter out saying, you got so long to contact us, and we can shut your water off or lock it out. What do you think, Bob? You shake your head?
We don't have a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
And we just follow the ordinance, do whatever it says.
So you've done this before, I take it, they say shut them off.
I don't know how you do anything differently, cause then you
I'm
violate the
just
ordinance.
asking you, have you done it before? If you did, how did you do it?
This is standard process, yes.
So you've done it before?
Yes.
Okay, that's why we got $60,000 or $77,000 worth of.
So there it is, there's the dig.
No, I'm just saying, it's not a dig. If you done it, show me where you done it. Where did you shut them off because of high water? Or not paying their bills?
What's the
We
point?
got 50,
What are you
60
trying to get to?
We got 50, 60 people out there that hasn't paid their water bills.
You
My
were
point-
basically saying, we need to extend this.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if you've done it before, how did you do it? You say per ordinance, so in your interpretation of the ordinance, how did you do it?
She just rattled it off. You have to give so many days' notice, you put a hanger on there.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
Right?
Yeah.
And then after that expires and they don't pay off their payment in full, you shut them off. And that's literally turning the wrench. You shut them off.
Or lock them off, cause some you can't shut them off.
There's no, I don't,
You can't shut
that's
them
it.
off.
That's it. And if you don't, the borough's now liable for the landlord instead of the landlords. Because their tenants rack up.
You got that, Mary?
I think.
Are you guys just posting information, or are you setting like a, hey, come July, if you're still behind and you've received these notices, is there a time frame that these are actually going to get shut off, that you're the people that you're notifying?
We'd have to hang a door knocker.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that start tonight, or?
Well, the letters went out.
The original
Right.
letter, yeah, it went out in 30 days.
30 days, so 30 days from, give or
Whenever
take a
the
week
letter-
or so?
Today,
Okay, oh, from today?
June 6th,
Perfect.
then they'll have to move forward. But did you offer them a payment option, or did you tell them you had 30 days to pay it in full, or they were gonna get shut off?
I gave them payment option.
Okay, so then you can't do that, then you gave them a payment option, so you can't just go by the ordinance now and shut it off.
Well,
The
if
flip
they
side
don't
is
show
showing
up
the
within
same.
30
That's
days, then
why
contact
you
somebody.
follow.
Why'd you give them a
the
payment
They
option?
said go by the ordinance.
They've
Well,
had
we've done
payment
it before.
options for 2 years.
Yeah.
They've had lots of
Well,
opportunities to make.
I'm agree, I mean, if they come in, probably most of them won't even come in.
Payment option was because of the billing issues. That was extended for a special circumstance.
No. Yes, that too.
Yes, it was.
We've done it before though, made them make payments to pay certain people. Yeah, we, whatever the council decided, I'm good with.
It's whatever the ordinance says.
We create messes when we don't follow the ordinance, that's what happens. Cause it's inconsistent then.
So how long has it been since a disconnect was done? Is that part of the ordinance that you're supposed to be disconnecting?
Yeah.
6 months, 8 months, a
A
year?
year, 2 years?
And you're $60,000 to $70,000 behind? Is that what I understood, roughly?
60 something, yeah. We collected some, well, 74, I think. We got them to 60 something.
Put liens on property before they haven't paid the bill.
They fall off if you don't update those, so they're useless.
That's not true.
That is true. I can point you to one building right here in the borough that is absolutely true.
Okay. Are we good with it?
That's you, balls you for.
We're gonna
You
send
good
out,
with it?
shut off.
I can
No,
point you to the building.
They don't pay
Yeah.
that, we'll shut them off, 40 guard.
That's the ordinance.
Contract for lease, which was signed before this council.
For what now?
Do we have the resolution?
That's what I have. Was there a resolution?
Yeah, there's one page.
There's a resolution with this paperwork. But it
Yeah.
should have been back.
But I
like
passed
this.
it to you guys and I don't know where it went after that.
Well, I can see that.
I believe it was just a single page resolution.
This is yours, right?
No, it's mine.
Yeah, it's in there. Said it wasn't in there, it's in there. Bob Brooks.
The resolution's in there?
No, no, we're talking about the. You look at the resolution. Is that that one?
I don't have it.
That's what I'm saying.
She should have a copy of that.
Yeah, they changed it. Yeah,
It might say that.
Could it be in the bill folder?
Can you see that?
Oh, all right.
We have to have that.
Oh, right here. Here it is.
We got more, before you do that, these are all, we got to see.
Nope. Should have been with this
Yeah,
now.
and it says right here.
We agreed to the thing. There's six and five. And we get the resolution, so there's a meet in the middle. Over the 20 or 24 hours.
Discussion.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was
well,
not our
that's what
fault.
we were trying to figure out with,
And that Cindy, she was looking.
Right, but verbally, I was.
And I just kind of, so it's not, that's.
We all had that in November.
yeah, so.
It's still, I still work there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This adds up to the 27 hours.
I know I saw that night, I don't know.
Why are we getting
They don't gotta leave it.
the half
I
hour?
was gonna write in the secretary's office.
Just, this is, just. approving the-
Oh, okay.
Just the location.
The location.
Yeah, here's the resolution.
I just got confused, thank you.
I got stuck in something else.
What do they have to do?
This is the September. Yeah, we did work with.
No, I don't think so.
Barry, he says he's gonna give me an updated one.
For,
That includes.
Right, we didn't get it till just now,
what's that?
So
That
what do we
includes
do?
Nelson too.
prior to this. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
No part billing.
I'm a little confused what the issue actually is. You are? Okay, thanks.
When we got this.
Is it a billing issue, or?
No, when we got it from the police, we had from 40 to 65 bucks an hour. Then we talked about how many hours they were gonna work in the town, the borough. So then they were supposed to give us a written resolution along with their contract. And that never took place until today. So at the time, the resolution, we were paying 40. Now it's 65. Now we got bills higher than like 38 hours work, 36 hours work. And I thought we agreed to 20, 24 hours per month. So the question to me is, the new
He said he had.
paperwork would be 65 bucks an hour. So what do we do from the time that was 40 and there was no resolution from them? What is the rate of pay up to that date? Do we split it? Do they get 65 even though there was no resolution? That's a question. We can't have a contract without a resolution from them.
I don't know if that's
Then we-
correct. I thought the day we sign that, that becomes active, effective the start date.
We owe them money based on 38 hours, 36 hours, and at a different rate of pay. So we're gonna pay that bill at the rate of pay, the 65, we're gonna pay that 40, how are we gonna do that?
Sit down with the supervisors and hash it out.
I don't know why it's so gray though.
It don't matter, you want to pay the
What day did we sign it?
You haven't signed that one yet.
Chico, didn't you,
Yeah, we
didn't
signed
you
the
say that
agreement
you
though.
signed it the night we were here that night?
I remember signing it, where that paper went, I couldn't tell you.
But we had no resolution to do that from them. So without the resolution, they don't become a contract. So the changes of rate, compensation, written resolution shall be provided by the Lawrenceville Borough with copy of resolution on November 1st. That never happened until today.
Yeah, but we entered in the agreement with that signature, right?
This is what they did today, a couple of days ago.
This is
They couldn't find nothing at all about
Right, they didn't give us a
So what do the
resolution.
minutes say then? 'Cause that's when,
It's in November meetings where we discussed it, but.
I think it says here.
it was, there was no vote in the minutes?
You guys signed that back in November.
That's what we're talking about, right?
I don't know, it was before I got on.
I thought we voted on it.
I thought so too.
Well, we voted on 20 hours or
Yeah.
24 hours.
That was
If you look
25.
at the document, it's more than
It
that.
was 25.
25?
It was 25.
So now we got bills, hours like 30 something.
Cause that guy came to that, the gentleman came to that November meeting and spoke to you guys.
Mike did, yeah.
But they were supposed to hand out the resolution that they handed that over.
I don't remember how on my notes.
You wanna read that?
It doesn't show the vote though, right?
What's that?
It doesn't show the vote though.
No. And they don't got no documentation either.
Y'all go back and watch the video. You should have the minutes, yeah, you see, in the minute book,
I don't think there's no resolution in there.
There wasn't.
at least when you voted.
I don't think it said we voted on it. I'll look again, but I didn't see it. I'll look again.
So we never sent any documentation to them.
No. And it just went silent, I think, after they dropped it off.
That was when Mike Fritz was here that day?
Yeah, remember
Yeah,
that?
he talked about everything but the contract. He talked about consolidating fire departments and paid fire departments and whatever else, and that was kind of the end of the conversation. If you look at the minute book, it'll say that he was here to, and talked about that stuff.
It was $65 an hour for 25 hours a month.
Why wouldn't we just pick that up whenever the prior contract expired and act in good faith?
Well, I think what we asked him was to give us why the increase in the size of the increase.
Right.
What went up that required a 40% increase?
Everything,
Is what,
from
you know,
gas
I
to,
mean,
they had to be a
they,
repair.
you know, gas went up, absolutely, you know, but
Yeah.
did it go up that much?
Everything went up.
And then we talked, because he was gonna raise it to $60 an hour, we said, well, we could help us by lowering the hours you come here.
Right, yeah.
But, and she said it's 25, I thought it was 20, but anyways, but we got billed for 30 some hours,
Go back to the
38
minutes.
hours, 36 hours.
Don't
See that, and without a resolution, to me,
Resolution is either, a contract does the same thing, you don't need a resolution.
You need a resolution to increase the rate. That's what the resolution's for, that's the only thing it's for, is to increase the rate.
and we never had one.
Cause I remember you made the statement, they have no option but to pay it because it was signed.
So,
He did make that.
what you should do is sit down with the township
Yeah, I agree.
and figure out what they need and why, and how much or whatever. I mean, Barry, you've been doing negotiating as union, and that's one thing they ask you is, what do you need it for?
Right, I agree.
So,
But this was something I thought was taken care of back in November.
It was?
well, in November, it was not a lot of discussion, he was here, but we talked a lot about other things besides that. And I remember talking about paid fire departments and paid ambulances, and that everyone's going out of business and whatever. There wasn't a lot of conversation about police.
If you, at the November meeting, if you fast forward to like 1 hour and 16 minutes into it, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. That was signed, and you'll see exactly what was stated.
You remember signing something?
So let's get with them, cause it's after the fact.
There would have been a vote taken, that would be in a minute.
So, yeah, so either come with something new or.
That'd be the easiest thing, just get the minute book, read November
We
minutes.
already did time.
I have it.
Sorry, you're doing it for free.
Instead of guessing.
Okay. So,
I have it right here if you guys wanna rewatch it. I just fast forwarded to the meeting if you wanna see it in real time for the meeting, or listen.
What's officials in the minutes?
Because you guys miss a lot,
So let's get.
I don't cut anything out
I
of
have it
this,
right
it's
here
all
for you to
real
listen
life,
to.
it is
Yes,
exactly
Mr.
Michelle,
Ryan.
this was put it up.
They have to go by the
In
minutes.
real time.
Officer Brian.
What's going on?
And I know they're questioning like sometimes the hours that we have,
You can't these ways.
why it's not just set.
That's what we
I
gotta do.
mean, there's calls that we can't just stop. If we already have our 25 hours in and we get
That's all I'm
another, we get a call that goes over 8 or 9 hours, we have to do it, we can't just stop. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't think
25 is
we're,
a minimum, but I mean, but that's,
yeah, I don't think we're
I just
arguing
wanted
that,
to let
but
you know that that's, you know,
Right, but I'm saying, like, if you go over the minimum, I mean, you have a little note saying that we were called out, took us 6 hours to negotiate the guy down from whatever he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying, 'cause we have no idea. You know, we don't know whether the traffic stop, or you were at 24 already and somebody's gonna hurt himself, let's say.
right,
So, absolutely, we want you to do your job, no doubt about it.
right.
But we need explanation, I believe, my opinion, and we need explanation why we were over.
And maybe over a period of 12 months, you could get the average down to that 24 or whatever.
Within a year's time?
Yep.
Yep.
But I think we're gonna have to discuss that with the
Yep.
township.
Yeah, I think it's an easy fix, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so
Are you
let's,
guys paying the bill at all? I think by law you have to give them at least the $40 an hour times the hours they have worked, because you have a contract for that. You can't
Is
dispute
it all
that.
calculated with 40 hours?
You have to pay them at least the $40 per hour, whatever they worked, and then if you negotiate.
Then we negotiate the rest
something
of
out- Exactly, yep, then we can write them a different check
Sounds
for
fair.
whatever you guys negotiate.
okay. What do we vote on?
To pay
them.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a motion for that then.
I make a motion that we pay the rate of $40 an hour to the police department until we work out the logistics of the $60. For now, then we'll come back to the table and pay the rest if needed. If
Some of
agreed
the
to.
bills are from November, no, we have November, December of last year that has to
Right.
be paid, and then we have the bills for this year that should
Right.
be paid.
So just take the 40, subtract it from the total amount, and that's what we owe you, that's what we're gonna talk about.
I'll second. I'm not gonna repeat it.
So, if I understand you correctly, you're making a motion to pay them the $40 for
Per hour.
what is owed
Per hour.
per hour.
Yeah.
And then meet with the township to come to some sort of agreement.
For the remainder.
So discussion here is, it still needs to be brought to this
Absolutely.
board for final approval. So when you meet with them, you're not promising anything, you're just
Right.
understanding the
Right, that's-
proposal.
Right.
Right.
I just,
We're just saying the remainder of the money that,
I got lost in the motion. Cheryl, can you,
Motion to pay the rate of $40 an hour for what is owed and work out the logistics of the $65 an hour with the township.
sounds like a plan.
You might better say the logistics of the increase. rather than
Outside of the
60
contract.
some dollars. Whatever the increase, it may be less than that.
I think everybody knows what it means.
yeah, so they don't, and then it's muddy.
So,
Well, that's funny, cause I recorded all, y'all can listen to it anytime.
Right.
Right.
so it was seconded by Eddie. We done discussing? Roll call, Mansell,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Eddie.
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well, motion carries 7-0.
And this is for 6 months worth of bills?
From February to now.
Yeah, probably.
From
February
November.
November
until
November to
now.
now, yes.
Thank you.
November to now.
I know, I went backwards, I got it, thank you.
That's what we paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like we pay the fire department.
Where's the bill this past 4 months then?
No,
We're waiting for a bill and
right, we didn't pay it, then there's no resolution, so maybe we work that out. We can work, I mean, it's no big deal, but
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is Penny Jeffers Banking.
did we hear from the bank yet? So she can
Yes.
get in there. We did?
For me, yes,
Yes.
yes. Cheryl has the resolution that has to be adopted.
Very nice.
Okay, Barry has it.
Okay, so what are we trying to do here?
Penny banking.
Pass it, right?
It's penny banking.
What are we trying to do?
Can we read it?
It's in blue, you can't miss it.
This?
Yes.
Do you guys have a copy for us guys, or?
I haven't seen it either, so.
Okay, Okay, any resolutions that are gonna be passed, again, I hate to be that guy, but you guys have to include those with the agendas. It has got to be in your agenda so that the public has access to it prior to the
They
meeting.
have to redact, there's account numbers on there, so they'd have to redact that
That's
off
okay,
from it.
that's okay, but they still have to give us the resolution, they can't just pass the resolution
Well, I know,
and
we
not
don't,
provide
everybody's
it to
gonna look at it,
the
we haven't
public.
looked at it yet.
So, with the agenda, just for future reference, with the agenda, any resolutions that y'all are passing have got to be included, so that we can read them. Thank you. Does anybody wanna share it with the rest of the class, since there's like one copy, or do we know what we're passing? 'Cause this is getting frustrating.
Just so she can get on.
So it
I thought
says,
Penny was hired to train sheriff. I didn't know she was gonna do banking and everything for the borough. I thought she was hired to train.
I am setting up QuickBooks, and that is part of setting up QuickBooks and getting all the prior information in there and transfers, that's how it is,
When
until
is
it's
the
ready.
training gonna start?
okay, so
I
what
have
we're,
training.
what this document will do, will add Penny Jeffers as a supervisor, I guess, a supervisor, yes, to the CNN count for the Lawrenceville Borough.
I'm not a supervisor. I'm just adding on my.
Michelle was?
The trainer.
Michelle would have been.
That puts you in.
Is that,
Right, that puts you in that position.
Oh,
am I reading that wrong?
Yeah,
It's just a
Michelle
framework.
was before.
I just tell them this again.
nuts, we're going back to what we used to do.
Might be
The supervisor paid.
So
They have
is,
to designate one person.
so again, who's,
This is Penny.
is this a recommendation from the finance committee?
Yes, the finance committee that I know, everybody knows about it. We gotta figure out the rest of your stuff is, we get things back on.
So is Cheryl still the treasurer?
Yes.
I'm confused. So. So help me out here, guys. So how's the training going then? Back to Cleo's point. Penny was supposed to be a temporary
Agreed.
trainer.
Yep.
Okay. How many hours, days, months, years have we put in training? How many more weeks, months, hours, days is it gonna take? What's been accomplished, what hasn't been
Well,
accomplished,
you're
what
getting,
is?
you're getting your bills now, right? They're coming from the borough, correct?
But what Bob's asking is,
How long? I don't know.
who
Until-
produced those bills?
Right, who,
We
yeah.
do.
No, who, so hang on here, let me just back up. So, the framing of this hiring a Penny back a couple months ago was kind of vague, and someone said, you know, it's gonna be 90 days, and then we'll reevaluate it. It was kind of open-ended.
Right.
Here we are.
How long did
It was not,
Y'all
It
started
was
this last
open-ended.
year, y'all
Okay.
started this last year.
So the point I'm trying to make is, how are we gonna
6 weeks.
tighten this down and get it done?
So she was actually hired as a temporary secretary treasurer consultant at the rate of $50
And
an
I'm
hour.
asking the council.
How long is it gonna take?
Yeah.
Good question.
There was also a time frame that was put on it, and then to be extended month to month as the council saw fit.
Cheryl, I'm sorry to interrupt, but how many hours of training have you had in the last 2 months?
She said two.
Well, it's only been 6 weeks, but if I had to add it all up, a couple free maybe,
Couple, 3 hours?
So were you showed
because
how,
it's sporadic.
Okay,
the
so,
water bills, who did the water bills?
I printed the most recent one,
So
the
you
one
put the
before
numbers
that I
in,
think she did, I'm sorry.
so she trained you how to put the numbers in?
I know how to put the meter readings
Yes.
in, I do know how to do the payments and process them through the bank.
So
Yes.
what-
Well,
what do
then
you
why
know
is
how
it
to do?
taking over a month to get a final read on a bill?
so if it's been 6 weeks, you've been trained 30 minutes a week.
Well, you can only train somebody when you know yourself how to do
Can
it.
she answer? Answer.
Go ahead.
When did we get everything back from Vicky? That's the
We just
key.
got that back just recently, the rest of it, right?
All of our
Anthony, when did you
information
pick
just
that
came
up?
back from
That
Penn
was
York.
the end of February,
Yeah,
beginning of March. Yeah, that was when she left.
And we got
we're
nothing
still
from this.
getting stuff back.
We're still getting stuff back, right?
No, we're not getting anything.
So I contacted Penn York because I do not have a paycheck for a tax collector.
Right.
I keep on being told I do a W-4. Okay, I can do that. That's not the problem.
Okay.
I have been an employee for the borough since 2010. I have
Right.
never had problems. I've gone through 6 to 10 secretaries.
Right.
Still don't have anything. I was paid in January of this year, and they're still refusing to give me a check. They have the information. I was told Penn York had the information, and they tried to call and they wouldn't give it to me. So I took it in my own hands and I called. And they said they have nothing of the boroughs.
Well, how'd they pay
It
you?
was handed over
Nobody
into
did.
the portal, and she could see that Urbano downloaded everything. She says, I have nothing. And she said to me, they should be able to give you a check because you're already in the system as employed. You're not new. If I was new, yes. But who goes to a job and has to do it every so often? You
Well,
do it when something changes
It did.
on your point. No,
Everything
because it's
changed.
still on the system.
Everything's missing. I don't know.
Cheryl can look on the system and see my check in January. So if she can see my check, why can't they do another check?
Well, how do you base just a check that says, say, $200, let's say?
Cause the information's in there.
It tells you about your tax, your
Yes.
social security.
Yes.
Do you ever see that?
January, we still have Penn York. We still have Penn York at that
You
time.
got everything that she
In
had.
January, yes. It was,
January and February.
Can you find anything in there with her?
It has everybody's pay information in there.
yes.
So that's a yes.
So why haven't somebody give it to the secretary so she could produce the check?
All the files are there. You just gotta scrub through it.
And that's
I
what
don't
they
have-
told me.
I don't have access to
You're
them,
right,
I
that's
have
what
to
they
be
told
given
me.
that information.
Why is Cheryl not being trained 10
You
hours
can't
a
train,
week?
you can't train somebody if you don't know what the hell's going on yet yourself. What she does know, she started training her, the payroll and all that.
I didn't have any, I had nothing.
But why is she a trainer? She doesn't know the stuff.
Well, everything's gone or messy. We all know that.
No, we don't all know.
Portal.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, we do.
I get what you're saying, Mansell, but you have a trainer so they can train somebody. If they don't know what's going on, why are they training?
Because she was hired to fix the
Like,
system that
I'm
we
not
had.
trying to say any
You
bad about
can't
it, but it
train
just doesn't
somebody
make
if
sense
you've
to me.
got nothing.
saying.
If you
You're
have
not
nothing
getting
to
right.
show
So if
them,
you have
you
nothing,
can't train them.
what is Penny doing while she's here? If
She's
not
trying to
training?
find something at this point. She's trying to put this stuff together.
So what's missing?
So Urbano.
Everything.
Everything.
All the employees.
What do you mean
information's
everything?
there.
Right, so you can get
I
that
downloaded,
for
so
Penny.
I got
The
the
wrong
entire
things are in
portal.
the wrong
from-
accounts,
It's all here.
there's bills missing,
So you
there's
get that
bills
for
that haven't
Penny
been
tomorrow
paid.
And it's all there.
It's all in the files.
Well, you can get it
First
for
of
her.
all, a
It's
profit
on the
loss
secretary.
statement,
Can you get it for her?
it's nothing to,
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
that
That's
should
an
be
easy
simple
fix,
to
you
train
can
her
get
to
it.
do that.
Yep, cause she
I
said
didn't know
it's
that.
there.
Okay.
But what wasn't there was QuickBooks, the files for QuickBooks, so your information couldn't get transferred over to payroll, so, because there was nothing there, so it had to be built from scratch.
Cause she said it's on those documents.
She
that
said it was
did.
there, but it's not there.
That's what she said.
Well, did anybody follow up with her?
Yes,
And what was the resolution? We gotta recreate all these files?
I got blank on my emails when I got it back.
What?
I got no contact, no more contact.
Is there any intent to hold
But-
this lady accountable?
But the issue that
for
we're talking
the
about, you can
overdraft
give Penny
fees?
tomorrow morning,
Come on.
all the information to make her check come.
Well,
up
all
there.
all her information was there since 2021, so all from 2021, all that information's still on the computer.
My question is, can you get it? You said yes.
Can you give Penny the access so she can get her check?
No, let him get the
It's, the
access.
secretary has it, the secretary can do it all, so I don't have to do it anything.
Why don't you do it though?
The secretary has
The
access to the
secretary
files.
would do paychecks. Why would Anthony be doing?
Do you know where all that information is?
I know where the portal is, yes.
Have you looked at any of it? So you can find that tomorrow?
I cannot find a W-4. I already stated that.
Let's keep going.
But the W-4s aren't there, what's there is all the pay periods and all the
Just
pay
the
information,
paycheck.
that's there.
The paycheck is there from January for Karen.
But it
What
doesn't
Penny
tell
doesn't have is
that
any
you're-
information from QuickBooks from Penn York. She had to start fresh. That's why
There you
she's
go.
asking for the paperwork. However, I told Karen, I can see her check from January. I do not see any record of a W-4.
That's where we're at, so
There's no W4s
I don't
in the
know if
file.
Penny
You
reached
said you
out to
seen it, you
Karen.
could get it.
No, there's no W4s in the file. There's files of pay information, not W4s.
So we're just
After 14 years then.
So we're trying to just recreate this data instead of going back to request a file?
He's talking to her, he said.
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
She can't withhold that from you guys.
So every
That's-
time we
she can't
switch
keep
secretaries, we just hand the file over to the new person and they pick up where the old person left.
And that didn't work this time.
Well,
Call the
but
solicitor.
we can't just recreate the data. How far are you gonna go back? 10 years?
Solicitor was already contacted about it.
But my point is, the council needs to know what's going on instead of just saying we're gonna.
My understanding, they can't find it, they need more information from Karen, and they can produce a check tomorrow.
That's a side issue. The issue is, we lost data on a transfer, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the root cause.
Yeah, also we lost QuickBook data.
Right.
All QuickBook data.
I don't know.
But I don't think it's valuable just to have someone recreate it.
Well, if she wants a check, that's an easy fix for now.
I'm not worried about that. My point is.
She's like,
damn.
I'm worried about the finances of the borough.
But that's scary if recreating everything. I know it's correct.
I don't disagree.
But regardless, I didn't sign up for it. I signed up to have Penny train Cheryl. Right? That's what the motion was. Now, we have Penny recreating files, and the training is not happening.
We should do it together.
Oh, who said that?
Well, if you do it together, the problem is.
There shouldn't be any problem working together.
Yeah,
It's not even that, but you're spending $50 an hour for a person to help another person. So the job that she was doing could've took her a half hour, but now she gotta show somebody else, so now it's taking her an hour and a half.
She shouldn't
If
have
we
to do
wanna
that
pay that
job
kind of
ever
money-
again though, Mansell. The
Huh?
idea is that
Once
1
she
hour and
learns
a
it,
half, she should
that's it.
never have to
But I'm
do it
saying,
again.
you're talking
So
about
at
large,
her $50
once she gets it down
rate,
pat, then she can
she'll
walk
have to
right
do
through
it.
it.
I understand, but you're paying her $50 an hour to work and she's not even working.
Well, hopefully she's doing something.
She's here, Penny's here when she's not. When
Okay.
she's not working. I was down through here at 9 o'clock one night.
Okay, but
And
it's
she's
been,
here by herself.
it's been here.
How is that
It's
training?
been the other way too.
How is that training?
She just said she could do payroll. So
That's-
somebody's training her to do something.
coordinate, so you guys can.
You're doing payroll?
She is, right?
No.
It's not in the work.
I'm not payroll, but the billing.
Managing.
She couldn't do that before, now
Not
she can.
everything,
I
but
think
yes,
we need to have
I've
a
been told
schedule
some
on,
things.
we're gonna start training on this, and have an end date. I did a lot of training at Corning, and we had an end date. Because if there's
Well,
no
we have-
end date,
You can end it
there is
We haven't
no
got there yet.
accountability to get to that
Never
date.
ends.
Huh?
June 25th.
June 25th. When we get to that date, if things ain't picked up, we'll talk
Should
about
be
it.
that date, that's the
But
date.
if he can get the information like I thought he said he could.
We just spent 60 days at $50 an hour and got 3 hours of training.
Well, you can't train somebody if you can't figure out what the hell
Do
happened
you
to
have a
them.
W-4?
No, but
She was
as a
secretary-
council,
She was secretary before, she should have known.
It's all gone, Cleo, I agree. It's all gone, everything's gone.
we'll go back to the pen and pencil day.
She can't keep that information if she can't keep that.
I know, I'm just, everybody wants to fight.
That's literally obstructing government.
Gotta get up.
Like,
Here's
that's,
the-
that's criminal. She can't do that. And the services is paid. Is she paid up to date?
I mean, you should be getting more than 30 minutes a week training.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we should get 3-4
If
hours
she's
of
paid up to
training.
date, she owes them every piece of her own property.
That would be easy, so I could be
Was
somebody
council
that
aware
cares.
of the training
I
going
wouldn't
on?
have even done that.
Were you aware that there was a
Right
training?
there at Petnork, it's somebody
Are you
that
asking
will
me?
have
Yeah, also.
call
Yes,
the state
I was
police
aware of
and
that.
go get it.
Then why wasn't anything done about that?
I have one vote.
I understand that.
I thought we were training.
Everything has to be set up before anything can be trained.
I think having an end date, and that's the date. That's it, then she's on her own. We did it at Corning. Cause they know you're serious. And they
Well,
learn.
the end date is June 24th. There you go. That's 3 months.
Why don't you wait until the July meeting? Because if
there needs, except if something, if she doesn't understand something, give her the opportunity to at least let you know that.
Well,
Rather
in the
than
minutes,
it's
it did say
leave.
she could come
Why
back
don't you
and help
furlough
as
Penny
needed.
until you get that information from
I don't think so.
Knoxville?
Well, you should be able to get that.
If she's not be able to train her, then you furlough her until you get all the information, and then we can
Yeah,
start
that's
the
a good
training.
idea, why don't we do nothing, furlough or do nothing for the next 6 months? Good idea.
That'll
But
work.
you've done nothing
That's your
now for 2
opinion.
months.
Well,
You
why
did
don't
nothing
call-
for 2 years, so
Why don't
what
you
was
call
your
Letty up in
fault?
Knoxville that you're so tight with, and get that information for us?
Well, tomorrow I'll be there.
I mean, you hired her, Gordy.
The council hired her.
No.
Okay?
No.
No.
Gordy, no. We were all here at the same
Alright,
meeting.
let's,
So
what
maybe
are
you
we
should
gonna
call
do
her.
with, what are we gonna do with this?
What is-
It's that,
If you don't get our information, you can't move forward, we can't get our job done, we can't get back online, so it's up to you.
run it
It's
by
up to
me.
the council.
It's not up to me.
Need to make a motion to.
What power, what is this?
To be able to get in.
Penny, can you explain exactly what you're looking to do here?
Yeah, just do online banking, if I have to print receipts off, print stuff off that I need to post in QuickBooks, that's the only thing it is.
Yeah. So why can't Cheryl do that?
You have access right now, you have.
I'm not, Cheryl wanted me to use her access and I'm not using Cheryl's
Correct,
access.
I agree, so
I'm
why
not
can't
doing
Cheryl do that?
Then, I
Cheryl, can you do
don't know.
that?
I haven't been shown, no.
So there, she can't do it.
But
Well,
she can do
Cheryl,
it.
it's
She's
not
trying-
doesn't mean I'm incapable
It's
of
online
doing that.
banking.
You gotta enable your
This is
employees.
crazy.
You gotta enable your
Show her
employees.
this
I
week
agree,
and then
if
she
you've
can
been
do
around
it.
for a while, you can see that we've been trying to do that.
What training needs done on online banking?
She can not get on herself.
She can get it.
I'm asking an honest question.
So, what you're asking is, if she needs to get a receipt, what training does she need to go to get a receipt?
Everyone uses online banking.
Not down here, hold on.
Is it asking too much just to put a list together of the things Cheryl needs to be trained on? QuickBooks.
Everything.
Yeah, but that's why
She knows
nothing's
what.
done.
Okay, I mean,
because
I
there's
put
no
a list, I understand what you're saying.
Put a list.
She knows how to do the water already now.
Just, well,
For the most part,
sure,
not everything.
not everything yet. You don't want to throw her in and say, oh, by the way, you said you could do it. She's not saying that.
All I'm saying
She's
is,
working on
we
it.
don't have a list to work off. So how do you know whether you're done or not?
If you're ready, Cheryl, I'll leave today, I don't have a problem, I'm out of here today. Not a
Why
problem.
are you talking to me? I've said,
They're asking you if you're ready,
It's
so
a
if you're
big
ready,
motion,
I'm
accept that.
asking you if you're ready,
Accept the
I can
motion.
leave.
I don't have an answer for that.
I'm not making a
It's
motion.
not my choice.
I think the question is,
This is a council.
we want her trained.
Get the training started.
Obviously, I wanna be
And have an
trained in the
idea.
proper manner. I wouldn't wanna do it without being
Thinking
trained in the proper
motion to
manner.
So
It's
let's do that.
sporadic
do the
at the
training
moment.
and
So
what
let's do
needs to be
that
trained
list, let's
and
put
then
that
they.
list together. We have that June 24th date.
So I'm curious about the online billing, cause I made a payment for the online diversified and it's been sitting there since April.
I just don't see
And
getting
there's nothing.
that
nothing's been done.
responsibility to someone who's not the treasurer.
I make a motion to accept that to get it done. And that way you got two of them working. She can do it and she can show her what she's doing. It's got different numbers, that's all. it
She's
is.
not the treasurer.
She can do it.
What?
That's a
She was
decision
hired
you
as
need to
secretary
make. Who
treasurer,
is
they
it?
saw the pen. Temporary.
So is there money
So we have two
handling?
treasurers? Oh, you skip a meeting here and things.
Hey, we can,
How many treasurers do we
I make a
have?
motion to accept it.
Two. Cheryl is the treasurer,
He was the same, Penny's the treasurer. Do we have two treasurers?
but he added the word consultant there, so.
But
That's different.
Right.
And I agree.
Treasurer is
And I agree.
defined by the state of Pennsylvania. Who's our treasurer? Cheryl. Okay. I don't think we wanted to get in that approval to who's not our treasurer.
I make a motion to accept that. So she can do her
Go
job
ahead,
and
bring it
train.
to a vote.
Take a vote. Motion.
Who
on the floor.
seconded?
I seconded it.
Terry seconded. So the motion was to accept this.
Banking for Penny.
Online banking for Penny,
It's not a big deal.
Mansell,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Nope.
Eddie,
Yes.
I'm gonna vote no, so 5-2.
Why don't you start out with an hour on filing, okay? trainer on the filing, and then the next one on how to do the billing, or
Don't you-
whatever. Okay, you don't need any training or anything from Knoxville to learn how to put stuff in the filing cabinet and how it's done, or whatever, okay?
We don't.
No,
This is the same lady bounce checks all over hell, the lady from Knoxville.
Man, so there's nothing to do with our situation.
It is too, it's the
It
same thing.
has nothing to do with
You
that.
got it, you got it.
It has nothing to do with her training,
None.
okay?
So you're paying somebody.
Trying to aggravate people.
My point is, if you get her, she gets up where we gotta be, and then you even gotta pay her $50 an hour to do the, pick her up where she's left off.
You're looking at the wrong person. You should be training her, not enabling her.
She's gotta be able to get up and run so she can train her.
not when it comes
How
to
long,
filing.
how long did you take, how long you guys do payroll? You guys ever get up and running?
So you're paying an untrained
We
person.
did
Did you ever
it
get up and running?
ourselves,
Yeah.
we did it ourselves,
Oh, you did?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Show me that. Is that why Lady Knoxville's doing it?
We did it for 6 months before that.
Cheryl, you got
Hogwash.
the filing under control. We can, yeah,
She needs more to do.
we can
We
cross
all-
that
we need
one
more.
off.
It's a mess.
Here are 6 quotes.
So,
How can
You know,
train-
I know, we all know.
How can they train a trainer?
Cheryl's got it here.
The trainer's
Give me a
got
list.
to be trained.
I can make the list.
Well, nobody unraveled it yet, even with the lady of Knoxville hasn't figured it out. And how long we've had her?
Figured what out.
over 2 years.
Any of them.
Email me.
Okay, so she was
Make
hired
that list.
a year prior, right? So
Two.
where are all the other
Two.
files?
2 years.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
so
go.
where are all the other files?
What was the file?
All the, that's
From 2022.
That's
They're
our
all-
point.
they're
She
gone.
has to return
2021.
those QuickBook files to you. It is borough property. It is illegal and criminal for her to hold them from you. She should not be rebuilding anything.
We all get that, but
That
where's the
QuickBooks?
data that's
Well,
prior
let's
to
get.
That's
let's
what
fix
y'all are
that down
yelling
first,
about, so.
And move forward.
Is anybody gonna contact her about the legality of her holding the QuickBooks? Because she can't be rebuilding QuickBooks when someone else is holding on to borough property. This is what we're all trying to get to. Ultimately, Penn York Accounting has to return borough property.
What I'm arguing is, we've paid for 3 hours of training over a period of 2
You're
months at $50 an
hyper-focusing
hour.
on something
That's
that's
my
really
tax
small.
dollars.
You're
that
hyper-focusing on
everybody in
something
here-
really small.
and
Says
that
the
needs to
guy who
come to an
lowered the
end.
taxes. Really, Gordy?
You pay Penn York to bounce checks and go pay.
Yeah, you pay your bounce checks, so.
Well,
So-
the
That's
checks,
your
bounce
opinion.
checks, we're
Can we get a
That's your
commitment?
opinion and nobody cares.
Motion, Terry seconded.
Can we get a commitment from either maybe law enforcement
It's over.
It's
and the
over,
council?
5-2.
I'm a little angry.
They already voted,
We
3-2.
voted on it 5-2.
Okay. Is anyone volunteering to help? She can't keep the QuickBooks, it's borough property. That's criminal aspect, right? Someone's gotta push the envelope. So talking about it don't fix it.
Bob, I can call Vicky right now and ask her.
Go ahead. She's probably watching. She's probably watching.
I hope she's watching. I hope she's watching.
Alright, can we move on here? We still got old
That's
business.
her choice, she's an at-home, so she can do whatever she wants.
Old business.
Alright, what we got next?
PennDOT invoices.
That's quick, bye Lucy.
PennDOT invoice, there's like $11,000 that has to do with that, Kaneski Street. It's in the packets.
That's, somewhere else.
At the street repairs?
Yes.
Our attorney wrote him a letter saying, back 3 years ago, that we'll have the money to do the repairs ourselves. That are not done in the job. Our engineer walked the street, we videoed it,
Produce a letter.
and,
Show me
Where you
proof.
at?
and, they,
Yeah, where's the
you know,
bill?
we've
Where's
not
the-
heard from
hold on,
PennDOT
where's the
since
proof?
then.
Hold on, our attorney or your attorney?
Where's the
Mr.
proof?
Joseph?
And the only one that was
Let's go for the-
chasing us about that was Mansell. Nobody else was cared about.
That's
This
not
this
true.
came from PennDOT. PennDOT
Yeah, but
contacted
he's
us.
How
for,
much chase you
he's
got,
for
really
the-
pay it.
When
You're
they
not paying
come, when
me,
they come
you're
here,
going
in front of my house has
He
not
did
been
not
repaired
stir it
correctly,
up.
Let's go for
and I've been
the,
on them, and, I got broken other stuff.
So we're gonna let PennDOT not fix the issue is what I'm guessing.
PennDOT, it's like $11,000.
So the issue
But-
is,
But we had like
Jimmy went through-
$17,000 of repairs that were not finished.
Had all the pictures, sent them a letter, and the ball was in their court.
They sent back a letter
Yeah.
denying
Yeah.
that they were responsible for any of this stuff.
But how
Because they
when did
can.
they send the letter?
I got it 2 months ago.
Okay, so this was 2 years ago that we,
Okay.
that we
You
sent
never got a
This is
letter from
recent.
him prior, huh?
So what are you gonna do
Wasn't
about
the
the PennDOT
solicitor
invoice?
handling it?
the solicitor have a copy of the letter that he sent them that they,
What solicitor, which one?
what do we got down?
Who's that?
McCormick?
Corman.
Yeah.
Then she'll approve. So what are you gonna do about the PennDOT invoice?
Pay him,
Don't pay it.
pay him.
Make a motion.
I'm-
Tell them when they come and do the repairs, you'll pay it.
My motion is to pay PennDOT.
What did I tell you earlier? He's the guy
Too
that
bad.
stirred it up.
I write my opinion, Gordy, you don't like it?
The people in
You're not a
Lawrenceville
council
Borough
member.
voted, and it
Simmer
wasn't
down.
for you. Right.
Same with you. You're not a
Right.
council member.
Do that.
Mansell has
I'll
a-
mention that for him.
All right,
Out of
now,
order.
You're not a taxpayer in the borough, so you shouldn't have anything to say about it.
Shouldn't have to be.
You don't have to be.
can we move on?
Welcome to the United States
Please.
of America, gentlemen.
Mansell made a motion to pay the PennDOT invoice. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Cindy.
Is it open for discussion now?
No.
So my discussion is, there's incomplete work on this, so basically, you're allowing the taxpayers to foot the bill.
Let me see.
What
that.
incomplete?
Where's your document?
I just,
Where is it? Where's your
Show
proof?
it.
Where's
I
your
didn't know what
proof?
the issue was.
Put
It
it
says
down in
PennDOT,
writing.
you didn't say what it was in the minutes, or sorry, in the
Where's proof?
agenda as to what the issue was. You just put PennDOT invoice.
You
I don't know what
didn't
that
put
is.
any idea what that
I'm
was.
just going by it.
Cause it
Well,
goes back
whatever.
2 years
So how am I
while y'all
supposed
were
to
doing
bring
your
it?
thing.
Everybody knows that what the PennDOT invoice is.
Yeah.
Everybody, whatever.
I knew
But
what it
he's
was.
saying I need
Motion's on the
to,
floor.
he's saying I need to show the report.
Call your engineer and tell him to go through what
I
was
don't
wrong
need to
with
show
the
the report.
project.
You didn't tell me to bring
He's,
it.
he's a
Proof.
licensed engineer.
I talked to him.
He issued
And
all
what'd he
those.
say?
What'd he say? Yeah.
He told me that, he was waiting on a response from PennDOT.
Yeah.
PennDOT responded, and
He
that's.
didn't like the answer.
and Jimmy-
Because they didn't address the concerns.
Well, neither did the Boat and Fish Commissioner either, but we pay that.
But you walk the street with the engineer and
I
have him
walked
point
it.
out the
I
stuff,
walked it.
and you'll see the issue.
You stayed home.
I've
that
seen
night.
it, you
Okay.
took me up there
Because,
one day.
I walked that street with Jimmy Jones.
Him and Jim went and they got the
And I
pictures.
have too, and
So
I was
there was a
with him.
motion and a second.
So this is the discussion, that's how it works.
You're not gonna hold the hammer to their head by paying them, then they're gonna be gone.
Right.
Okay,
So that's my point is,
Well,
we're
hopefully
putting
we
the
use it
burden on the
again.
taxpayers.
Very-
Okay, that's
very
fine,
good.
go ahead,
Very
go
good.
ahead.
the taxpayer hired us to do a job and pay the bills as
And not
needed.
pay a bill
But they
that's
didn't do
not
it to
done.
specification.
Yes, they did.
They didn't, that's why we wrote the report and sent them a
When
letter.
you go up there and look anywhere that they did work and measure your, what do I say, the low spots in your water.
So you don't have faith in your engineer then?
He
I'm
didn't say
saying there's not a
that.
whole lot difference between one town to another, and it was all.
So
paid
what I'm
for.
saying is your engineer wrote up a report, showed all the deficiencies.
He did, an engineer wrote up it based on what you were telling him to write,
No, he
Yes.
took the pictures and said, this is not right.
based on what you guys were
Was
told
the
him to write.
engineer paid by?
You weren't
Borough?
there.
Yes, I was there.
Yes, he was paid by the borough.
I was there.
Ansel is
I
never
walked that
been on the street when I was there with the engineer.
That's okay, go ahead, vote. You guys are on the record,
Right.
giving the burden to the
Yes.
taxpayers.
Sure, I mean, here you are spending $11,000.
We're doing what you-
But you had no problem with $37,000 for flow meters that sat in the closet for how long?
Says the guy who
Keep
wanted to sell
going.
him the wrong generator.
Right,
Well, if they were the wrong flow meters, we wouldn't have paid for them.
Oh,
but they sit in the closet. Anyway, go on.
The votes.
Go ahead.
Balance checks, right.
Mansell,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
No,
Eddie,
Yes.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 6-1. Okay, we had a page,
This was
The
the one
page
that I
bill?
pulled out last time.
yeah,
Because I
last
didn't
month,
know what it was.
last month there was a paste bill that was pulled out and not paid because Terry didn't know what it was. We found out that that's
A 3-year test.
one of the 3-year tests. So basically what we're asking is to approve to pay that bill.
Make the motion to pay that bill.
I second
Mansell
it.
makes a motion to pay the bill. Terry seconded. Anybody want discussion?
How much was the bill?
It was like,
13.
just a minute and I can tell you exactly.
It's for a
Nathan
lot,
said he,
that's part of it.
Nathan said how much it was.
I don't remember what it was. I looked at it
So
Thursday.
you voted on it, but you didn't know how much
I
it
looked at it
was.
before. You gotta pay the chemicals. You gotta pay the material that we send in and do testing. We have no choice.
1674,
And that's because it was a year-end thing.
3 years.
Would y'all feel better if they were spending money on attorneys?
At this point.
Do you write the news or
That's
you make
why
it up?
you fail and you didn't get reelected, that right there.
1674 is
Did I-
$1,674.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
16.
6 to 1.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, the ballpark fence.
You didn't vote
You
on
didn't
it.
vote on
we didn't
it.
vote
We didn't
on
vote
that.
on it.
That was on
just-
the invoice.
Yeah, we didn't vote on it yet.
You need a roll call vote.
Roll call vote to pay that bill.
Yes,
Mansell,
yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
and yes, me, 7-0, motion carried. Okay, now we're on the ballpark.
No, it's not.
What was the story behind the ballpark, Bob? I have no idea.
This is just for the windscreen.
The windscreen is there.
This is just for the windscreen.
No, it
It
came
came
today.
today,
Did it
so
come?
it just needs to be installed.
So it's got installed.
So we basically gotta install the windscreen.
It's really doing nothing at this point with that. We just gotta install it.
I guess that's information.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning for putting the windscreen on the fence?
Cause she said you wanted her to,
Who's she?
the owner.
For privacy.
Who's the owner?
Amy Robinson.
What's the idea of the windscreen?
Privacy.
So, I want a fence between my house and Anthony's for privacy, I want you to pay for that too.
No, it's just the windscreen.
The fence that was previously up there was for privacy, the wood fence you all tore down.
That was not
And you
for
put
privacy.
up a chain link fence.
No, that's right, because the other fence had blown over 3 or 4 times and wasn't repairable,
We fixed it.
okay? First of all, so, I'll take a chain link fence with windscreen between my property and Anthony's. I want the same as anyone else is allowed to have.
We don't have to, we're done.
We're done with that.
Okay, we're good.
It's gonna be installed. All right, public comment. Hey,
So I
Robert.
know that Bob was saying that he wanted just a report kind of, or sign off on the water and sewer department people's training before there is a pay increase.
Right.
What about employees who aren't part of the water and sewer who are up for a pay increase?
You're referring to Cheryl?
Yeah.
I'm gonna discuss this somewhere else, we should.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have a meeting.
It's not her fault, she's not trained,
I agree.
so she shouldn't be punished.
Two sides of every story.
Well, I've been here several times.
Anybody else got public comment? I'll ask one more, Gordy.
Whatever hours that Penny's been paid at $50 an hour, why aren't the other employees receiving $50 an hour, except for the 3 hours that she's used for training?
Good idea.
All the other hours that she's put in for the borough.
We're gonna make a motion for that, is that what you want us to do?
No, it's a comment, I'm just.
Oh, I thought maybe you
Was
wanted
that-
us to do that.
I mean, I feel
You
that.
get a good employee.
I feel that
You want
if she isn't gonna train the employee, furlough her until there's an opportunity.
That's your opinion.
I don't mind if they furlough me, I don't. I think that's a good idea, really, can I furlough me, please?
Yeah, then nothing gets done.
There you go.
No,
Gotta
please
get a
do,
wish.
yes,
You're not getting out that easy.
yes I am.
No, you're not.
If you don't furlough me, I'll resign then.
No, you're
Don't
not.
let these clowns get a hold of you, ain't worth it. You're doing a
Yes,
good
TJ.
job.
TJ.
We're doing payroll from our
Yes.
building now.
How's
We
it
didn't
going?
do that for 2 years.
Your name's TJ?
TJ.
Is your name TJ?
Yes, so, just to update, just to let you guys know, it's mush ball season again. Me and Bob were supposed to get together, we haven't, we've been busy, I'm assuming, but I will get with him. So what the borough has given us in the past, our 2-week grace period. We have 5 teams this year at $400 a team. So the borough will be receiving $2,000 from the Mushball League. We will have your waivers and your money per by what the borough's paperwork that they gave us by week 2. So by week 2, which will be the 3rd week of this month, well, 3 weeks from now, you guys will have the money. I'm just asking who I give the money and the waivers to. Is there someone here all the time?
The treasurer.
Well, Parks and Recreation has to discuss this.
The treasurer receives all funds.
Okay, so I need to get the money to Cheryl. For her, the money and the waivers need to go to her per what it says in the paperwork
We're
here.
gonna have a discussion.
Okay, so I have the paperwork, so you guys will have that.
Just so you know, I'm not on the Parks and Recreation, I was taken off of that. So.
Okay. Well, who's now on that?
Who's on that now, Eddie?
Well, maybe I am on it.
Terry and Cindy.
Okay.
That's it.
Then I'll get, Barry, I'll get with you,
Yep.
and I'll sit down with the paperwork then with you.
Give me your number and
Yep.
we'll.
Definitely.
There's no more parks here, it's just recreation.
Thank you. 703.
No,
Eight,
no,
eight, one.
no, TJ, stop.
Slash street.
Yeah, they live stream.
People have my name.
I was gonna say half the time.
Half the time everybody knows my number.
Walk up here and just write it on my paper.
That's a good idea.
Just giving it to the other
I
half.
don't know it anyway.
It's
I'll give it to the other guy.
Charles, what you gonna play?
He can, but I want him to think about what he's doing.
Gotcha.
Because people from all over the country watch
We'll
you guys.
set up a meeting with
Call me.
Parks and Rec Committee and invite you to it. Their public meeting.
What's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but like I wanted you to think about it.
Okay, any other public comment?
I've got 2 quick ones, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Was Apex bills paid in that stack of bills
I
tonight?
didn't hear you.
Was Apex paid in that stack of bills tonight?
Yes.
Okay. My next question, is there evidence of multiple units paying one minimum bill back to that ordinance conversation? I'm just looking for, is there evidence that there's multiple units only paying one
Yes.
minimum bill?
Yes.
Yes.
Me.
Yes,
Lucy. Lucy
Oh,
said me.
Lucy just admitted to being one of them.
Lucy.
There's
Only
multiple.
since last July when Gordo over here changed it. So, yeah.
You're all sorted out. The two Mansell.
Okay.
can prove it.
Is there any, do
Yeah.
we have any idea like how many times this is happening?
It happens at least, I'm gonna say it's probably 4 or 5 times.
So 4 or 5
no.
times
Oh.
times how many units?
So you guys
Probably a
debate on the
total of,
ordinance?
probably a total of,
I would
Is that
have
where you're-
how many units don't pay any water bills at all?
60.
We're gonna go down there.
I mean, if that's just
Why don't we talk about who pays
$280.
taxes and doesn't
Oh, no,
pay
there's
taxes?
more than
We're gonna
that.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
Who's
That's
behind
just
that?
one.
Who's behind that
Who
on
pays
taxes?
He says, let's talk about who pays taxes. Lucy
You're
makes
the
it
only
like
one allowed to talk.
Why do you guys think that matters so much on who's allowed to ask you questions? Peter
No,
Ducci
no,
can
it's
come in here
comment,
and
not
ask you the
question.
same questions. Yes, I
I
can.
like that.
I
Good
have
on
every
you.
legal right, just because you don't like it is not my problem.
Second.
Alright, so there is absolutely concrete evidence that the borough's missing revenue from these dwellings?
Yes.
They're not necessarily getting revenue from dwellings that are within the guidelines of the ordinance.
Okay,
They're
but,
missing ones from people that failed to pay.
so that's revenue,
That's
right?
Gordo.
That would, yeah, that would be Gordy's house.
That's Gordy.
Alright,
What house do I have that's not paying revenue?
I don't know, you got your thumb up.
Tell us.
Tell us.
How many you got
How many
abated
you
right
got?
now?
None. Well, excuse me, yes,
There's
yes,
none abated?
yes, my parents'
Cheryl
house.
had a question back here.
Yeah,
We're just
vacation,
waiting
huh?
for quiet.
Cheryl has a question.
Well, that answered that.
We call it a vacation.
So, Mansell, none of them are abated anymore.
I'll tell you what we'll do, I'll unhook it tomorrow, have it unhooked and give you my deposit back.
No, you can't have your deposit back
That's how it
until you
works.
move. You don't, as long as you own it, that deposit stays there.
You show me in the ordinance where it
That's
says
not the
that.
case.
You show me where.
Oh, I forgot,
You gotta pay the bill first.
Okay,
Alright,
Cheryl.
Okay, so I received an email in my box when I came in this morning on Saturday, at 7:50. Somebody utilized the Borough Lawrenceville email as a recovery email for a new Borough email. Does anybody have any clue?
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Elvilleborough6@gmail. It was 8 a.m., just shy of 8 a.m. on Saturday morning.
That's not good.
It's mine.
Sounds familiar.
I talked to a couple people and they said it was all right to do that, just a temporary email. You
can't.
Here we
do
go
any borough
again.
business
Nobody's
through
speaking up.
email.
Who are these
Yes,
people
they are
we're
right here.
talking to?
You cannot do any borough business through a Gmail account, no ma'am.
What do you mean the Borough's is a Gmail account?
You can't,
What was the vote on
you
approving
can't
that?
do that, there's no encryption, there's no security.
Well, that's the one they have right now.
I highly recommend that somebody change that.
I'm with you.
.gov, which y'all are eligible for, somebody messed it up a couple of years ago, but that process needs to be restarted there. You guys already went through this with getting equipment confiscated last year, I'm just giving you a heads up, Gmail is not considered safe for use in public government use.
Nobody should have it.
Not at Frontier, not at email, not at Yahoo, it should be at .gov.
You said that?
Huh?
You said that?
That's a standard. Yeah, it's a security risk.
So we can break it out for you?
Yes, all this time.
Gotta be here at 6.
So,
It's this record
Penny,
retention.
you don't use it to communicate with each other.
Okay, somebody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
What are you gonna do about that email?
Documents and emails, the right to know.
Yeah,
So her email.
I mean, she has a concern about her emails, and any.
They might be able to get away with it.
I have
Who are the
two
two
different
people that
emails
said
going
she
to
should
them.
do it?
Put that email on, legally.
Penny, you said that you
Yeah,
got
but
two
you need
separate
one
phones.
borough email.
Right.
One borough email.
I would suggest we have.
Anthony, take care.
I would-
No, it's gotta be,
Yes.
no other email.
Okay,
I would suggest that
You
we
just
only
took care of it.
have one email and one email only.
Yeah, and I would get with the PSAB rep about the .gov email getting reinstated, because you guys really should have that back.
You got that?
So wait a minute, so you're saying one email and two people are gonna share it, or one email and one person's gonna use it? Two different things.
They can share it, there's no problem.
Yeah, but that's bad news, cause we did that in the past and it didn't work.
Gmail's worse news, Bob. Little up on
Neither one.
technology, it's
Neither
not
one.
safe.
This is for the
Not me.
borough council. to
Okay,
decide.
I'm giving you
Yeah,
some
I understand
advice.
that, I understand.
One email, not two. Two's
It's gonna
complicated.
backfire on you eventually.
Because once somebody leaves, that email's gonna come to that person, you have to have one source.
So basically, what Bob's saying is, one email, they share it.
No, I would not do that.
One
I'd rather
email to
issue
the
two
secretary.
emails in their name
Is that what,
than,
is
than
that what
share
you wanna
one.
do?
That's bad news, cause you don't know who's doing what. I understand, but anytime we're sharing passwords or usernames is bad news.
I agree.
Bad policy.
Okay, through an encrypted answer.
No, they don't have that anymore, we got that stuff back. You picked that, you picked that stuff up from the state police record, right?
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, that, all that stuff is back now.
Those computers are back?
There was only one or two.
Yes, the computers are back, and.
Are they runnable or are they apart?
I haven't taken it out the box yet because we have to actually file our insurance claim, so.
They said they were all torn apart when they got them.
That was not true.
It's still in package, so I haven't opened it.
Did they
We
issue
have,
did they issue a report finally?
They have a report number that you have to call and get the report from them.
the
But there's
last,
some other things I need for that, so.
the last time I talked to, the officer in charge of that, and that was, Pennsylvania State Police Organized Crime.
Yep.
They were still investigating and he wasn't even willing to share stuff.
Because that was the story with the insurance company, that was they needed the,
Right, they
Police
need that-
report.
They need that police report to actually file the claim.
and then Glenn was complaining about not getting paid, so it all falls together. You gotta have the police report, to file the insurance claim.
But you still could
But
pay
if
the guy
it's
and got
still,
away from
if
the
it's still
insurance
under
company.
investigation, they will not release a proof.
I understand, but that's the
number,
next step.
they can. The number will work.
Right, alright.
I'm just bringing it up, that's all.
Okay, so, two emails,
Different names, yes.
different, two emails, different names.
Through an
Wait, what?
encrypted service, like Proton or something.
We're doing two emails,
Different names, not the same name.
but when another company calls us, they're gonna call us with a different company name. Don't come up with an email instead of one email.
Should go to our treasurer, and secretary.
The main one should be her.
That's right.
She should be forwarding
They're
her
working on
to
two different
Penny.
things, so I don't know.
Anthony, my point is, it's just bad news to have two people under the same password. It's bad
This
news.
should be, if you're gonna do this should be.
Well, by June 23rd, you're gonna do away with one of them anyway.
Table it, move on.
Alright,
So wait a minute, so do we wanna delete what's already been done then? Cause we just had a new email created. Do we wanna delete that?
When do we have a new email?
She said
Friday
Saturday.
morning.
Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday morning, 7.
Penny said that she did it,
Yeah.
because she was approved by 2 council members to do that.
I had to be one of them, yeah.
I don't have a problem getting rid of it, I don't have a problem.
I make a motion, we delete that, and then I'll determine the policy going forward, how we're gonna handle it.
What's wrong with having just one email and having it her, period?
I'll explain it again, it's like logging into the same computer with same password.
No, I'm talking
Okay?
about
It's not secure.
one person.
So I'm in the process now of making.
We're talking
email
about policies,
There's no
about
policies, so.
Apex traded, Apex Cedar qualified. Why weren't they done 2 years ago? This can't happen overnight. You guys make these guys jump through hoops, they can't do it. Nobody can do it.
Jeez, that's okay.
That's why you guys did it.
Right now, there's no hoop.
No, there's a lot of hoops.
There's no hoop right
Oh,
now.
yes, there is.
You just had a secretary
No,
create
I'm
an
talking
email
about
address
the
and
whole
you didn't even
ball
know about it.
wax. The whole
There's
ball
no
wax.
hoop.
Yes, there is.
I'm asking
You
for a
told them to
policy.
do the same thing with Apex. It didn't work for you, so you want these guys to
so
try.
I assumed it was.
If you didn't get done, what makes you think these guys can get that done?
Nancy, why'd you want back onto the council then if you're gonna?
Because that's what you're doing, you're taking everything,
No.
and trying to make these guys jump through something you couldn't
Well,
do.
maybe somebody else can get it.
We'll try,
Gotcha.
I'll attempt to do
Alright,
it,
thank
so.
you. You already said it, I don't know.
We have a log
Why we're
set in
coming
for
back
every
to it.
worker.
But the
What are you talking
email,
about?
it should be one email, so we're still talking about that one email.
We're
No,
sharing
we
the
got back
password
to
though.
something else.
Don't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter to me, I mean,
It
I don't know
doesn't-
why, she should explain why she needs
It
it.
doesn't matter until there's a problem. Then it matters.
Well, we've been, yeah.
Yeah, we were in there, weren't we?
So, why is email necessary?
I didn't wanna get into Cheryl's emails, I don't like looking at somebody else's emails.
You don't have to look at it.
Cheryl should be forwarding her anything that's relevant or.
Right.
pertinent.
You should just be
How
training
can she
Cheryl.
forward what I can do with it?
So I don't understand that.
You gotta clean the mess up before you
Just
can
like
straighten
these
it.
guys.
You keep telling yourself that, Nancy.
Well,
Well,
geez,
it's
it's been
a
2
mess.
years, you never
It's a
cleaned it
mess.
up. Don't give me your
Everything's in
bullshit.
wrong accounts.
We're going too far
Again.
here. Should be
Alright, come on, let's,
You're training her.
get to the business at hand here.
Going home.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Terry made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Cindy. Roll call vote, Mansell.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Eddie. Cindy.
That is me.
Bob.
Yes.
And I'll vote yes too, motion carries 7-0.
Was there a directive to eliminate the second email?
Penny said she would.
Penny said she would.
She don't care.
And we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Good old Gordo, they're gonna delete that. You said you did.
I've seen that paperwork.
I
feel like I'm drunk.
I'm not privileged, I'm not Gordo. Oh.
I feel like I'm drunk. Spending time being a meeting.
Yeah, you.
So her plan was September 1st. So we decided on a performer, made a mess.
I have to shut the windows
Anthony went over and picked up everything. You got it.
Right, I got all the stuff that she's.
I did my little-
Yeah, she didn't give that, she said it's.
I think they have a baby, so.
Yeah, but
she's
you
ready.
got this in there. I
Yeah,
thought, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
if I was in the court. It did look good.
It's summer.
Anthony?
Yeah.
Just in
I
case.
gotta start watching instead of I'll go to the post office. Once in a while. I go down your street once in a
Yeah,
while,
so-
just to get a, roller coaster.
There was nothing there when we got to look.
So the QuickBooks file was not there.
Right.
One of those
And then
two.
when I tried to call Pennyard, I got shut down. So I wrote the.
Yeah, once we made Cheryl the treasurer, we got an email, you would probably copied on it, I don't know for a fact, but you probably were.
Yeah,
Cause I think she sent it to everybody. That she's resigned, effective immediately, pretty much.
And then she stopped talking to us.
And
Did you
then,
see Brackman's face? So they have a quorum out there.
Yeah, we could turn this off here, we don't have a quorum.
I thought they have one out there.
I'm in public building, Bob. You
Yeah, so the
can't
meeting's
do
over.
anything about it
You can
until
turn your camera off.
well, then you could help shut the.
What?
Wait a
We'll
minute.
take care of that. We'll take care of
yeah, we'll get it.
Did you get that on camera?
They, not embarrassed that you're giving me a hard time in front of everybody.
They have a quorum.
I understand they have a quorum out there, but she's trying to record the non-quorum in here.
Yeah.
Because I'm
What was
busy
the
and y'all just
issue
do
of
nothing but give me a hard
making her
time.
the treasurer instead of leaving,
I don't understand why that matters.
Vicky the treasurer?
I don't,
I mean, things were going pretty smooth.
no.
Maybe when you were there, but when we got her, 2 months was good. Then
Is
all of a
the
sudden
camera
it
up?
just got-
No, Bob, it's not, because I still have a right on the property to record. If you feel the need to talk to Mr. Officer Brackman, please go call him in. I'm sorry that you're impatient and attached to that seat. Pardon me.
Yeah, I don't know, I think just sitting on it.
Not fast enough to move for any of them. There is a motion light down here again, guys. Give me a second. Little wind. You might have to. There it is. You might have to let me know if you can hear me. So. Per usual. Okay. Somebody's a little upset with my presence. Go figure. Okay. So, 2 seconds. I told you guys I wanted to have some discussion after. So let me get myself out of my ear. Title 65 of the Sunshine Act is how it is referenced. You can Google it. It's Pennsylvania state legislation about our rights as people attending meetings. All right, so real quick, hold on, comments. Okay. All right. This is the first meeting, by the way, that Mr. Chilson has showed up to since he was not reelected. There is, in fact, when we were discussing about the ordinance for the multiple dwellings, evidence that there are multiple units only paying one minimum, which means one maintenance fee, which is a huge loss in revenue. I was just reading about Elkland having some financial issues. They're going through the same thing, guys. These guys, they're not the only municipality around here that's having this issue. So keep in mind, this isn't isolated. Other people are having the same problem. It's a direct result, and I really want to talk about the lowering of the taxes. And I seen some comments earlier today about how happy y'all are that your taxes are staying down. Not the county. The county just did their reassessment. This is just Lawrenceville Borough. So probably some of you that are watching, it doesn't affect. You may live in the township. You may not even reside in the borough. You may not pay borough taxes. So if you don't mind the water, and you like the low taxes, then that's perfectly okay. If you don't mind the potholes in the street, and you like your lower taxes, that's perfectly okay. If you don't mind polluting the river, again, and you like the lower taxes, that's okay. Here's the other hiccup that I noticed again tonight. So township police have not been paid since November last year. They are the people who are going to respond to your call the fastest because they are the closest. So I think your next option is Pennsylvania State Police or Mansfield. I think they come up from there and assist every once in a while. Highly recommend that you work out a contract with that. And again, lowering the taxes, they're going to cut the hours that Lawrenceville police are allowed to patrol and respond to calls here. So like if they hit that hourly, like what, 25, I think they said a week, which they're going over, which clearly says there's not enough policing going on, or they haven't negotiated that contract for what the borough actually needs. So if you guys continue to go at this really low pulling this off my head, 4.6% for your tax rate, this is only going to get worse, okay? I don't know about y'all, but when I go to the grocery store, I'm spending twice of what I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
actually more than just the last administration. All right, so this isn't new, this has been happening. Those guys have vehicles to maintain. I don't know about the last time that you did an oil change on your car, but fuel's going up again, which means the price of oil's going up again. That's your oil change, that's your gas, your fuel to get back and forth to work. All of those things are increasing. You cannot rationally expect to keep taxes that low when the infrastructure is this bad. So it's a cause and effect. It just is economics, and a little bit of reading would teach you a lot on how this trickles down. In our government, we've been trying to do different things with capitalism for many years. We know how it works. Don't let them kid you. Accountability at the highest and the lowest levels is what works. I'm sure that bottled water over here costs more. Hold on. Woo. Well, now I can't get it to turn back on. Somebody probably turned it off. Costs more here than it does in smaller communities that are, like, say, all well water or whatnot. So I can't really read my notes now. Unpaid water bills. So there wasn't any clarification on that either. So they sent some notices for payment and payment arrangements. I'm not real confident for water use to fix the water problem. Yeah, and we've seen discussions, Miss Grace, about how the funds have not been appropriated in the right areas. So like those water and maintenance fees that you pay in your bill are not going where they're supposed to, because other bills have to be paid. So unfortunately, it's not actually going for the water. It's going other places because the amount of money that the borough is missing out on, especially over this water billing conundrum for just the time that I've been filming the last 2 years. Sorry about the weirdness, but yeah, even over the last 2 years. So there's tens of thousands of dollars, and that's adds up. That's why I kind of really like covering the borough. The numbers are easy. It's a smaller population. There's less than 300 units, families on the water supply. There's a moratorium. You guys can't even get new water supply hooked up. So I think it's really important to mention that until these issues start getting taken care of, there's no development here. And I have to tell you guys, when I got here today, is that store bright and new and shiny? Yeah, you know, absolutely, it is. It's a great looking store, but, you know, Annie's was still on the sign. Oh, I just dropped my AirPods, hold on. And there's nothing left. The whole plaza, the whole Family Dollar Plaza down there is empty. It's completely deserted. You can't expect business owners to come here when they went through what the dollar store people went through just to get water and sewer hooked up, you know, or for just an EDU. So, sad to say, and that I'm still just as frustrated, mostly with this council and the same kind of behavior and not really caring about the rules. Bob was very spot on about some stuff tonight, but was too worked up, I think, to be diplomatic, and I think diplomacy is necessary right now. These guys need to work together. I keep asking about who's volunteering for things for some accountability, and unfortunately I can't always hear in the back. Sometimes there's sidebar conversations, and sometimes I'm writing and formulating questions. And the Apex bills, they paid those Apex bills, but nobody knows what they're doing. Why would you do that? If you called a guy and hired him to come and change out your toilet and it's still not flushing, or it's running water all the time, or he just needed to put parts in the back and he's missing one crucial component, the job's not done. So this is going to take time. These guys have got a lot on their plate. I hate to say that 40 years. Yeah, I mean, it is you guys paying for the neglect, and unfortunately you're going to see that raised in your taxes, but you're not going to see any development happening here. That's kind of a sad story. I've seen a lot of things that come along with this Tioga County, Pennsylvania, by the way, because most of you guys know now that I live up towards Tioga County, New York, and I don't see good things. Small businesses are going out left and right. We're left with Family Dollar and Dollar Tree, these major corporations, and they get all the tax breaks, which means they're not contributing to the community or the neighborhood. Annie hosted events for us. People would stop by on their way through. I enjoyed myself every time I was there. So I have literally no reason to come back here to visit unless I'm going to like the farmer's market in Tioga or, you know, the pub or something down there. Little donut shop in Elkland. You guys have got great stuff, but if you don't take care of it, it's gonna be gone. So it's hard to talk about. Our economy is tough, and it's tough for everybody, not just tough for government, but the government has got the other parts of the government in place to help make sure that we can do well and do right by people, all right? And the foremost important thing is access to clean drinking water. And I'll tell you guys, the Flint, Michigan thing, right? It's been, I don't know, 10 years or so now. They're just starting to talk about the developmental disabilities with the kids and them drinking the iron content. And now Chicago has so much iron piping that they're just going to forgive the fact that they're poisoning these kids and these elderly people. Again, it's not just Lawrenceville, but the numbers are really easy to see that things are wrong here. So I think it's important to remember the bigger picture, okay? If we want to see change, we have to support people that are willing to be open-minded and share, you know, if they've done shut-offs before, tell us how you did it, because I've never seen it in the 2 years that I've been filming. So yeah, I have questions. I've never seen one before. I also don't reside in the borough. So, all right, guys, thank you for sticking around. We're almost at 3 hours. I could almost hit the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. You know, I always have my audio from up front. If there was something you didn't quite catch, you want to rehear, or, you know, it already is gonna be Miss Grace. I'm sorry, but it is a ghost town, especially today. Now that the weather was nice, I was like, there's no place that I even want to stop. So continue to please check on your neighbors. You know, thank a veteran. The moving wall is coming. Jessica has a lot of information on that. There is posters up here in the office, so if you happen to stop by, pay your bill, you know, or whatever it is that you're doing. There is some cool stuff. Like the Wreaths Across America is going to come back again. That'll be again in December. And when I filmed that last time. So if you're welcome to go back and check that out. I mean, this isn't the only stuff I film. It is pretty much now because there's no events going on. So, and I drive quite a way, which, you know, I don't do this enough, but if you guys see value and you support what I'm doing, on my Facebook page, you can see my PayPal and like my Cash App, and, you know, you can always just send me a message. Just tell me thank you. Tell me I'm doing a good job. Share it, like it, turn on the notifications. All of that stuff helps because people are watching, okay? And someday when I get my office set back up, I'll show you guys, because I think it's important for y'all to know that people do care about what you're going through, and they are interested. And now everybody's kind of got their own character, so it's turned into like a, thanks Grace, it has turned into like a reality TV show that I never expected. So, all right, I've talked for a while. I'm at 2 hours and 54 minutes. Again, thank you guys that are in for the long haul. All right, I appreciate you. Good night.